a video that I want to go over to show y'all because this is a long part. The video was an hour and 31 minutes. We're not going to go to an hour and 31 minutes because the discussion doesn't last that long, but it is a long discussion. And the reason why I want to show y'all this is because I didn't catch the actual live stream. I had to catch the playback. So I'm watching a playback to this live stream because when I tell y'all this is a concentrated, rabid black male worshiper, like one of the most masculine programmed mules that you will ever want to listen to, I'm telling y'all, like, this is a mule, okay? This is a mule, but this also highlights the reality of what black women will go through just so that they can say they got a husband, just so that they can say they got a man, just so that they can feel like they're validated by the essentially the ownership of a man through a relationship. I want y'all to see Anjay, he's a man on YouTube. I want y'all to see the mindset here. So I'm going to play it. If y'all want to come up, and if you feel like you want to come up here and comment instead of putting it in the chat box, you can do that too. But I'm going to go ahead and play it. I'll stop where I want to highlight something for you guys.
You have to understand that women in a society, women make easier when it comes to becoming successful. So I'm saying here.
Now, understand, here's the thing. Black women do not have it easier when it comes to obtaining success. You're going to say that a group of people who are double oppressed have it easier than a group who actually has privilege in society. And I'm going to continue to emphasize that black men have male privilege. They have a privilege. And really, if they were smart, they would be able to use that privilege to offset oppression. Meaning, if black men were smart, they would be able to find a way to use their male privilege to offset racial oppression. Yeah, I sped it up. Yeah, so she's she coming in lying, saying, oh, well, black women, it's easier for them to be, because again, like I said, in order to say anything positive about black men that's separate from how they look physically, in order to promote black male worship, you have to lie. It is based on lies. Because black men are not doing anything positive. They're just not. This is why if you ask anybody, what are black men doing that's positive? They can't tell you because as a group, this is the one group of men who contribute absolutely nothing positive to humanity, to their community, or even themselves. Like they just don't. So she's already starting off lying. Tara, did you want to jump in or did you want to wait until I play more? You would have to take yourself off mute if you want to talk.
I'll wait till you play more.
Okay. All right. I'm about to. You said I might have to play it at regular speed because it's muffled? Huh. Exactly. Timmy said, how would we have it easier than males who have male privilege? Okay. I'm going to play it and y'all can tell me if it still muffles.
I have to work place and notice that a lot of black men, they can't wait to get the black man in the job just so they can tell them what to do. Right? So I don't believe that. I don't believe that our man should go and work for the oppressor, basically. So the idea that most women would argue me down that I would rather have a man sell water or incense or sandwiches for himself so I'm going to work. So if they haven't paid attention, like I said, black men are emasculated in the workplace all of the time. And
look like? What does that look like? Black men get emasculated in the workforce. What does that look like?
Okay, y'all said it's muffled. Hold on for a second. Let me see something. You think it's going too fast? Okay, yeah, it's only on 1.5, but I'll put it on normal. We'll put the playback speed to 5.
Yeah. I had trouble hearing as well.
Oh, what did it sound like to you? Did it sound muffled? Did it sound too loud? Or what did it sound like?
Muffled and a little too fast.
Oh, okay. So I'll take it off the thing and give me 1 second. I just need to check my audio to make sure. Okay. I'm just trying to see something. Okay, I'm trying to change my Zoom settings to see if it works better. Okay, so now let me go ahead and go back to sharing the screen, playing it. Okay.
Superiors mistreating them because they know they need a job. The black women, but not in the same sense that happens to black men. A black woman could take being told what to do from a white man as opposed to a black man being told what to do from, I think necessarily a white man, but I don't want people to get excited from the point.
So it's not about.
You know what's interesting about this, where she said that black men can't take instruction from white men? It's funny she say that because we just saw black men getting up saying they would prefer to be on a plantation than for a black woman to be running the country. So now let me go ahead and go back to sharing the screen, playing it. Steph, could you stop the background thing? Thank you for so much. Yeah, I find this really interesting that she would say that, because black men actually prefer to take instruction from white men even over a black man. They would prefer to. In fact, they don't even respect another black man's authority, and they definitely don't want to have to answer to a black woman. So literally the only person that they would take any instruction from is a white man. Black men feel very comfortable taking instruction from white men.
Well, that's why you had how many voted for Trump? The percent?
Yeah, and Tara, they literally came out and said they would prefer to be on the plantation, meaning take instruction from white men than to even have a black woman run the country. So what she's saying is a lie. But again, this is a programmed bandit bot. That's what you're listening to. You listening to a programmed bandit bot. Now, so I'm gonna play it. We'll go over some more.
Them getting abused, it's about how much abuse they're willing to take. It sounds like it's a pride thing here, right? It sounds like black women don't have an issue with pride and black men do. Black men just can't take being told what to do, but black women can.
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is the black men, they take uncruel and unfair punishment on the job.
Black women don't.
Excuse me?
I'm asking you, black women don't.
They do, but you're coming to sorry for my complaint.
Listen to what I'm saying. So you're saying that the jobs, you're basically saying that the workforce, or the whatever jobs are easier on black women than they are on black men, right? So I said, okay, you explain that. Like you said that black men are emasculated. Okay. What are you saying? That's fine.
The effects of black women being in the workplace versus black men being in the workplace is more harmful for black men to be in the workplace.
Because of how black men take.
Because of black men needing to be in control of their finances.
So why don't black men become businessmen then? Why don't black men start their own businesses? Or why don't they partner in business with black women then? Why don't they do that? Because if she's saying the corporate industry, which I've worked in corporations, and I think any black woman who worked in corporations should know, black men actually have a privilege in the corporation because, again, they are males. So number one, they have the male privilege because of men. And then usually their supervisor is going to be a white woman or a white man, which is what this woman is not acknowledging. And black men in the corporate arena, when they are answering to white people, they become an adjunct white supremacist. Basically, that's what they become. I've worked in corporate with black men and with highly white populations, and what black men become is, again, an adjunct white supremacists. That's what they do when they're in the corporate room. But I never saw black men struggling, and I've worked with them. I've never seen black men struggling in corporations, but I literally have seen them get privilege because they are males. I have seen them get privilege when they are there, because most of the time they don't even qualify for the corporate job.
Well, but yeah, I was going to say, I rarely see them in corporate. And if they are, they're not in higher up positions. I mean, and when they're there, they're not there for long because they do something irresponsible, having affairs. And I mean that's,
Mm-hmm.
They don't do the right thing. And
yes.
Go ahead. Somebody was talking.
No, I agree. I also agree with Cynthia that when they're usually not qualified because they get privilege as men, right? So they get privilege as men, but when they're there, just like we see in any other industry, they're usually trying to shuck a job to try to maintain it as opposed to focusing to learn a job and doing the right thing. So they usually don't maintain it because it's something that they're, whether it's chasing someone for, sex, or they're just doing some degenerate crap that will cause them to lose it.
That's what I see.
Even now, like when in my job, I'm so glad, Cynthia, you're back on YouTube. Although this is Goddess Ma'at, I was on Patreon following you for a while. But on a job now, ever since listening to Cynthia G the last couple of years, that black women have been waking up. I don't look at them anymore or give them eye contact. Because in the past, when they see black women, they feel comfortable, like, oh, okay, I know I got that. So they disregard you to go chase, the
Yeah, they do. They actually do. Black men will take advantage of your presence as a black woman in the corporate
Thank you, girl.
arena.
That's why I love you. You be putting stuff. Yeah. So they'll take it. So now, by me not looking at them, they're forced to stand on their own. And even now, like in the past few years, they're probably like looking, why isn't she like looking at me like, yeah. Like, no, they're forced. Actually, the more black women become serious with black men, they straighten up because they see that you're not their fool, or you're not going to catch them, and they're forced to grow up.
And but I'm going to play some more of this. But one of the things that I've consistently seen, and y'all are right in the chat box, is the extreme lack of professionalism from black men. They take their emotional, unhinged attitudes to the workplace, and they act as if their job is their breeding ground, where they get to just go search out and find their next conquest. Like even when I've worked in the corporate position and in just waitressing positions, there would be black men trying to sleep their way in through the entire female staff there. So when black men are suffering in corporate jobs, it is because of themselves, not because of anything that anybody's doing anything to them. And this is why I don't like these mules. But she's parroting what black men told her to say. This is a programmed bandit bot. She's parroting what they told her to say. I'm gonna play some more.
So Mika, everybody can own their own business. That doesn't even make sense.
So when you have
100%, ego. It's 100% ego. They're not describing like it's not. I don't work for anybody anymore, but I also don't mind working for people. Okay, not everybody can run their own business. Like that's not even feasible. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm not understanding like why are black men so I guess reluctant to work for somebody. Like it doesn't make any sense. I don't understand that. And you're not saying that the management or the ownership treats black men worse than black women. You're saying that it's how black men perceive it or internalize it. Right?
We want to speak both because I don't know if you've been in corporate America. My opinion, corporate men in corporate America, black men in corporate America, they have to shrink. They have to shrink.
Oh, black women have to wait.
Oh, the man or the woman?
Both.
Let me get off of here. Damn, my life, baby. You get my life. I got another thing. You put me up here.
Okay. That's fine.
I don't know how. That's just tell you.
Oh, you don't know how to drive. Okay. That was all right.
Now she's gonna come back, so I'm gonna fast forward it to when she gets back up because she does go back up there. But what the thing is, what she is describing is goal, because she has not mentioned at all one actual treatment. She's literally, did y'all know what was the treatment that she said black men are subjected to? She didn't describe any treatment that black men are subjected to. None at all. There was zero treatment that she actually described. She said they suffer mistreatment and they have to shrink and emasculated. But when he asked, what does that look like? She described absolutely nothing. Except saying, oh, they have to shrink and they don't want to be told what to do by white men. Yeah, that's an ego issue. That's an ego. If you want a job and you want somebody to pay you, but you don't want to take instructions, that's an ego. Obviously, if you don't own, you either start your own job or you go work for someone else. It's really that simple. I didn't want to be in corporate. I don't like corporate politics. Even though I'm qualified and very capable of dealing with it, I don't want to deal with corporate politics. I don't like it. So what I've done is, or more of what I was pushed into, because I actually was quite fine with working in health companies and I was making pretty good money. But doing this is easier. Doing this is better. Number one, you make more money. Now, especially if you're on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, the ad revenue that you can make, anybody who tries to say get a real job, understand that they're hating because they ain't making that type of money and they don't have the time, the freedom of their own time to make their hours. So if that's what black men want, if they want control over their finances, if they don't want to answer to anyone, there's a word that you can aspire to that will remedy that, and it's called entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Black men are not going into entrepreneurship, not at the rate that black women are, yet they're complaining that they suffer the most in corporate. Okay, so why aren't you being an entrepreneur?
They want the reward without putting in the disciplined work everywhere they go, just like they want like a woman or a wife, and they, like you said, submission is incentivized. So they want to go into the work. I think the lady was saying they get mistreated because, like this guy, when they go, they want to speak how they want to speak and just do what they want to do. But you have to be disciplined. You have to know how to talk to people and move. And they don't know how to do that. And that takes a while. That's called culture. They don't know how to be cultured to navigate into the corporate.
Listen, the bottom line is whether you're an entrepreneur or you work for someone else, you still got to follow rules. You still got to follow regulations. You still got to answer to someone. You may not be answering to someone on a daily basis, but for me to manage my LLC, I have to answer to the government. I have to answer to the state. I have to answer, and I know all these are just different branches of the government, but I have to answer to the IRS. I have to answer to the state. I have to answer to I forgot what it's called, but it's where it's something that applies to businesses. I can't think about the name right off the top of my head, but there are people that I have to answer to just to maintain the LLC. You have to. There is no reality where bandits are not going to have to answer to white men. There's zero reality where that's going to be the case. So it's like she's saying that there's so much mistreatment that she's not even identifying. Because black men don't want to listen to white men. Okay, so start your own business then. But not having to answer to white men is just not gonna happen. It's just not gonna happen. You can lessen it, but you still gotta answer to it.
But even if they start their own business and they don't acquire those basic discipline skills, they still fall short. That's why, nothing, that's why they're not excelling. So even if they start their own business and you've seen it, it's not like they're building family or community. It's just still the business that they started for their own, like, short-sighted foresight. Like, I'm starting it in, they make money, they use the money to satisfy themselves. So it just ends with them.
Yeah, they do. Even if you do what Umar Johnson is saying and basically give a bandit an allowance of $700 a month, he's not going to invest that into his business. There are black women who have done that. And I can tell you, they aren't going to do it. There's going to be zero return on your investment. You should not do it. But the problem for black women is, rather than listening to women who have actually been in those positions, rather than listening to black women who have invested in black men and listening to their outcomes for investing in black men, what they're doing is listening to black men. Black women need to stop listening to black men and go talk to black women or white women or whatever race of woman who has invested in a man and ask her where that got her. Go find these women who invested in black men monetarily and ask them where that's got them. Let me try to see if she came back in. Hold on.
I feel like whoever at the house supposed to protect the
Yeah, so here she came back.
I'm not reading the comments. I'm talking about her. Oh, 100%. I think you got me confused. You had me confused with somebody else. That's true.
So she coming back up. Right here, she coming back up.
I think you have me confused. You think that I think men are the protectors, but I don't. So I think that's where the confusion is coming in. When you're saying like first men are the protectors and now they're not, I agree that a lot of men think that and say that, but I don't think that or say that. I think that's stupid.
So you're coming from a different angle. We both have to agree that the majority of the community will say that the men are the protectors.
Oh, they'll say it. Oh, 100% they'll say it, but that doesn't. But are you asking me what I believe, or do you want me to say? Oh, okay. You don't want me to say what I believe. You want me to say what I think other people.
No, what I'm saying is I don't want you to say anything. I'm not looking for a particular answer or anything.
You asked me and I gave you an answer and you quit. So you obviously wanted me to say something.
So what was said before I hopped off the line?
You asked me the question directly. You said,
read that bullshit.
I don't know.
Yeah, you know.
Don't read the comments. I'm not reading the comments. I'm talking about everything. Okay. So you asked me, so who's protecting the home if both people are at work? Or, you didn't say both people. You were saying like if the man's not there, who's protecting the home? And I said women, obviously. I mean,
that was just the ideal that the majority of the population would say that men are to protect the home. I agree with you. I feel like whoever at the house is supposed to protect the fucking house. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like that's necessarily a role. So we're on the same page.
Listen, let me just, as we get into this, I want y'all to prepare yourself for the utter pick-meism that you're about to listen to.
Mm-hmm.
When y'all hear about this woman's own situation with a man, because she gonna start talking about her own situation, and then her mindset is gonna make sense. It's gonna make sense to you based on the situation that she in. Mm-hmm. Her mindset is gonna make sense. You will be like, oh, okay. Oh, Jasper, that's just a truck outside. Mm-hmm. He jumped up. He's cute. Why you put your legs on me, Jasper? The cats, they do our legs. And this is it. Like, he's stretching his legs out on me.
A cat door, son?
Huh?
A cat door that she can go in and out?
Well, I don't have a cat door. I don't even know where Sasha is. Sasha probably somewhere hiding, but Jasper is in here sleeping on the bed. This is the male. I do have a she, but she's somewhere. Sasha will run from you and disappear. And she's so different. The female cats are so different from the males. It's just interesting. But anyway, I want y'all to brace yourself for the level of self-esteem that she don't have. Like, this lady has zero self-esteem. So let's continue.
I don't know if, and I think you're right. Actually, I think you're right. Because I think the vast majority of men would say that, and I do think that a lot of women would also say that. I think there are less men who would say, "Oh, whoever's in the home," right? And I think that there are more women who would, and I think there are more women who would say, "Men protect the home," right? So I do think that the majority of people would say, "Men protect the home," but I do think the vast majority of women don't think that men are protectors. And I think that
I understand exactly where you're coming from when you say that the biggest problem in the black community is black men. You say that because again, actually, why you say them?
of the destruction, like I'm talking about the direct destruction, not the economic destruction. We know that that's white people, right? I know that. I know that that's racism. I know that that's capitalism. No doubt about it. But like when it's time to actually pull the kick out, when it's actually time to pull the trigger, that's black men that's doing that the vast majority of the time. When it comes down to raping, to molestation, things of that nature, that's black men that's doing the vast majority of that. Right? We're talking about gangbanging. We're talking about just acts of violence in general. We're talking about robbing people. We're talking about the things that keep people in perpetual fear in the neighborhood. That's black men that are perpetuating that fear. Overwhelmingly. Right? And then we're talking about the people who work the least. We're talking about the people who abandon the kids the most. We're talking about
Listen, when he said people who work the least, I literally like, when I first heard him say the people who work the least, I died laughing. I'm telling you. Because they literally do, they work the least. They do the least amount of work, but they're the males. Like when you listen to everything he's saying and consider the fact that number one is arguably it's unarguably true. This is an indisputable fact. None of what he's saying can be disputed. None of it. And the only person who will be disputing it is a liar. Nothing that he's saying can be disputed. But when he says the people who work the least, the people who abandon their kids the most, the people who are the most violent, the people who essay the most, and then you compare it to them saying these are supposed to be your protectors. These are the leaders. So the leaders and the protectors of your community work the least, but cause the most harm. And this is what we've been sitting in as Black women for hundreds of years. We've been sitting in this dynamic. Mind you, this is the post-plantation dynamic. I want y'all to understand this. This is after we got off the plantation. So post-plantation, Black men are the ones who work the least, the ones who commit the most crimes, the ones who commit the most violence, the ones who do the most essaying, the ones who abandon their children the most, the least to get married, the least to have money, the least educated, the least employed. But these are your protectors and leaders of your community, really.
The least likely to wear condoms.
Yeah, and the one that's spreading the most disease, that's in addition to everything else they're doing. Mm-hmm. But these are your leaders.
Yeah.
And your protectors.
You know, I don't know the story of Penny in New York. He was like choked out by that guy. And I guess I saw something where they were like protesting or tried to. No one heard about it. I'm like, Black women, I guess, have just moved on from it.
Good. And they should not protest. There should be zero Black women protesting for Black people.
It's a few stuff has happened. It's or the one who was the trucker in North Carolina, because now, for instance, I was telling my husband, I'm not for that dude going to jail. Have you said in a metro before, these guys, when you punish the person who's protecting people, you're leaving these bandits like open to assault. And who's the first person they assault? Women.
So here's my thing, because I don't want us to get too much off track, because what we have to go over is long. So I'm not trying to silence you, but we have a lot to go over. But my thing is, that black man getting choked out by that white man, a civilian, that is a black male issue. That was a civilian. That was not a government official, even though I already know it happens with government officials. Fine. That's a one-off between one black man and one white man. Why on earth would I be getting involved in that? Why would I be getting involved in a one-off between a black man and a white man?
Mm-hmm.
Two men were fighting. One of them lost. Why would I intervene? Like, I don't understand why I would be. Why? What would be the point? How does that have anything to do with me? But number one, it has nothing to do with me. Number two, if you're gonna fight that one battle, you better prepare yourself in 2025 to fight it every time it happens, because you can best believe these white male civilians are about to get it in on black men. Black men need to handle that. They need to handle that on their own. You cannot be their protector. You can't.
Yeah.
They think
also black men.
scared of them.
So yeah, I'm saying black men are the biggest problem in black men. Absolutely.
See why you say that? So like, I don't want to go again.
Yeah, so she got a bandit in the background feeding her information. So look, she mutes, she goes quiet for a while, and then she gonna come back. Look.
She's from single household.
It came from Cynthia homes.
So what's the difference?
The language, dummy, you're right.
That the mother is single.
The person who's wrong.
Not that the mother is single. And also, the moms don't even be single most of the time. Most women are in relationships with men. Whether it's the biological father there or not, a man is there.
Okay, so you're saying that the black men
You said it's
are
Borgen?
choosing to leave the home.
Of course.
Okay. I've just seen so many examples otherwise. I see a lot of women, I see a lot of men who would like to be in their children's lives. I don't know if that's something recent, but I'm around a lot of guys who want to be in their children's lives. It's just conflict with the mother.
No, you ain't. No, shit.
Men for the most part are genuine for the most part.
Hold on, no.
Be genuine was.
And now you see the lies that's rolling out.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to see the lies that's rolling out. Take note of her lies, because she's going to contradict herself later. When she starts getting into her own experience, she's going to completely contradict herself 100%. So, and I'm pointing that out because it's why I told you black male worship and the defense of black men is based on lies. You cannot worship black men. You cannot praise black men. You can't even defend black men without lying.
Mm.
You have to lie to defend black men.
Men, listen to me. Men for the most part, genuine for the most part. Not to be genuine once they get fucked over by men only turn that way because they've been taken advantage of by a woman.
That's hilarious. You know that's not true. Like,
I do know
I'm saying that laughing. You couldn't even say that with a straight face. I heard you laughing when you delivered that bit of information to me. You know that. You know men are genuine. As a man, I'm telling you, men ain't genuine. And I'm not saying I know more than you. Look at the system. Look at the world. My proof is right in front of us, right? Like I can point to all the inequality. So,
somebody asked my man, I stopped married for 9 years.
No. Once again, please.
So I want y'all to listen to this. This is a woman who said she's married for 9 years. She's been married for 9 years. So you already know this is a marriage mule. Okay. Having this mentality is probably how she maintains her marriage. Keep it in your mind that this woman has been married for 9 years, because that's important. You're going to need that because it's going to establish a timeline that she's going to mention later on in here. So keep it in your mind that she's been married for 9 years.
Mm-hmm.
Disrespectful that I'm talking to you and you're reading the comments. Why am I talking to you? Why am I, you know what I'm saying? Like, why are we having, like, that's rude, right? You can cut the comments off. You cut them off. I got you.
I don't need that.
I got you. You cut the comments off though, they too distracted. But so I don't think that what you're saying, men are not genuine and men are not reacting to women breaking their hearts or whatever. It's not what it is. Men break, like, make it make sense then why do women?
So why men get caught cheating than women?
Because
men are diabolical as women are.
Well, what? That doesn't prove anything. Men get caught more.
So if
Hold on, Astro. Let me finish one of my thoughts. So men get caught more for many reasons, but the main two reasons is because men are sloppy, right? Men lack. Well, I can go in even more detail than that. Men get caught often. The number one reason is because women are more perceptive than men are. That's first and foremost. Men talk. It's not diabolical. Why is that diabolical? That women are more perceptive? Not diabolical. It's just a fact.
diabolical as hell.
What does that have?
See a lot of stuff that men can't see, and they don't necessarily speak on it. I don't understand how you're disagreeing that women are more diabolical because they get away with cheating. That's common sense.
They don't cheat as much. Whether they get caught or not is irrelevant.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not catching.
Do y'all see how men teach women to hate themselves?
Mm-hmm.
This is a woman sitting up here lying on women, basically lying on herself, and she's 100% lying because even her own situation contradicts what she's saying. Even her own marriage contradicts what she's saying. But the thing is, notice how this woman has all of this vitriol for women based on what a man told her and based on being in proximity to this man. This is why I'm saying there's something wrong that women have to check, because you have to figure out how you got here. If you can't figure out how you got here, even if you get away from here, you will end up back here. This is why women's oppression is coming back, because we forgot how we got here. And we stopped putting in the work because we let our guards down after getting a tiny bit of rights that, quite frankly, you should have never had to fight for to begin with. Because these are the males that you give birth to. So you should never have to fight for rights, human rights, or your own humanity. You should never have to fight to get that from what you give birth to. But the fact of the matter is, women are not really realizing where they went wrong. How did you get here? You have to know, how did I get here so I can avoid being here again? If you are going back to a position that you were in that you did not like, it is because you did not do something to ensure that you would never go back there. Why are you still letting men get into your head? This is how you got here. Letting men get into your head and sell you a male god that placed you right into patriarchy and forced you to worship them. This is how you got there. Why are you still listening to males? Why are women not looking at the fact that, hey, every time I listen to these males, historically and presently, I found myself in an unsavory position that I did not want to be in. Every time women listen to men, they end up being in a position they don't want to be in. Black women got here from listening to black men. This woman is getting the outcome that she's getting from listening to a black man. When are we going to stop listening to manipulative, deceitful people who identify us as their enemy? Why are you listening to your enemy?
Yeah, at this point, why are black women still engaging in these discussions with black men? I don't.
Well, this woman came up here. She brought the discussion to him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this woman brought this discussion.
Experiencing the same reality. I don't want to. Maybe someone who's more, for your life and your population to come on here, because you know what reality you're pulling from. But I do know for a fact that men and women cheat just as much. It's just that we don't want to talk.
So I have looked up the statistics. That's what I'm saying. So statistically, you're wrong. That's my point. So if we're talking statistics, you're wrong.
Well, I need to know for a fact. I don't. That doesn't sound right. That don't sound remotely close to reality. I need to hear the statistics. Where did you get the statistics from?
From any website. I don't remember the site. Go look up.
Can you pull it up and read it off? The point is, if we're going to get somewhere, let's talk about facts. Now let's just talk about stuff you say, and I'm just supposed to believe it.
No, that's what you're doing, though.
Well, I can look it up too. I'm
saying, I'm saying you can do it too, right?
I can look it up.
I'm fine. I'm doing it right now.
Hold on. The reason why she's aggressive is because she's experiencing cognitive dissonance. That's why. Basically, public holding you're wrong. Everything that Bandit programmed you to think is wrong, and here's why. So she's now getting mad because she's experiencing cognitive dissonance. Much like how if you talk to a religious person and you're telling them how and why their religion is causing not only them to hate themselves, but men to also hate them, you're going to get the same response because now you're shipping away at a belief system that a person has. Now you're making them feel uncomfortable. Now you're putting them on the spot, especially like it happened just the other day with religion. When I go look in my comment section and you will see exactly how aggressive people get when you tell them the truth and they start experiencing cognitive dissonance. If you want to see it, go look in that comment section of a woman literally sitting here saying religion has nothing to do with how we interact. Meanwhile, the very constitution of this country and all of the laws are based on the Bible. Your gender socialization is based on the Bible. Your gender roles are based on the Bible. Your creation history is based on the Bible. How are you going to say that religion has nothing to do with how you function when literally your entire belief system is made up from that religion? But people get cognitive dissonance because at the end of the day, they want to believe what makes them comfortable. As this mule sits in a marriage with this man, a miserable marriage, mind you, where she's been dishonored because she is, and she's going to tell you how she's been dishonored. As she sits in this miserable marriage with a man who's dishonoring her, settling for crumbs because she doesn't think she deserves better, she's getting mad because this man here is chipping away at her belief that has her feeling comfortable. Because if women are the problem, then she can elevate herself by way of sitting in this relationship with this man. That means she's one of the select few women who are not problematic. And therefore, now she's elevated above all of them just by being in that marriage. So she has to believe what she believes, because if she believes what the public offender is saying, then she's not elevated. She's just another dumb, low self-esteem having mule who's being mistreated because she's desperate. Now, we know that's the reality of it. She would prefer to think differently.
I hate doing this in real time though. I think that's why I don't like doing it, because it's like I'm not really, I'm not really, it's a quick little, So what do you want me to do? I'm looking up. I'm on Psychology Today. That's a reputable source. The truth about. Hold on, Astro. That's not how I do my searches. That's how you do yours, and that's fine. I try to, even for this.
You're asking me though.
Hold on, Astro. How are you cutting me off when I'm trying to explain to you what's going on? Okay, so Psychology Today is a reputable source. So I'm giving you the source so you can go check it out on your own if you want to. And for anybody that wants to do it. We use data online, voluntary completed by 94,943 people. Men were more likely than women to engage in sexual infidelity. Most individuals confess independently about their infidelity, while many were discovered by their partners. I mean, I don't. Then she, what percentage do you want? You want me to give you the percentage?
I mean, no, you read the one source, and that's fine. Based on this source, men cheat more, so you were
going to read another source?
No, you don't have to.
Oh, okay. I'll do it. I got a bunch of them here. Yeah, I got a lot of sources here. But they all pretty much say the same thing. To some varying degree, like the numbers may be different. They'll say that women cheat, 26% of women admitted to cheating, and 34% of men admitted to cheating. And then another study will say 28% of women admitted to cheating and 47% of men admitted to cheating. But in every single study, when they just talk about men and women in general, men cheat more. You know what I'm saying? Like that's so that men cheat more, right? Women and men get caught more, right? I don't think men get caught more because they cheat more necessarily. I don't think that does play a part. I'm saying for capita, I don't think that's true. I think the reason why men get caught more is because women are more receptive, and men and the way that men have to cheat is different because typically for a man to cheat, he not only has to lie to his main woman, he has to lie to the side woman inside with it, right? He has to lie to everybody involved. He has to lie to every. Yeah, he can't okay. So who do you think who has an easier time sleeping with a person, a man or a woman? Like if a man wants to sleep with a woman versus a woman wants to sleep with a man, who has the easier time?
A woman.
Okay. So that's the point that same logic to cheat, right? So I have a wife, but I want to cheat on my wife with a woman. Is it easier or harder for me to first find a woman to sleep with? Just right off the bat, just like versus my wife. Like if my wife were to cheat on me, how much easier is it for her to do it than it is for me to do it?
I would say it's way easier for her.
Exactly. Okay, cool. So if a woman meets a man and she wants to cheat with on her husband with this new man, she doesn't have to lie to the new man, right? She can tell the new man, I got a husband, but I want to hunch on you. You think that is the new man gonna be like, oh, I don't think we can do it? You think that new man gonna be like, I ain't gonna do it because the new man gonna be like, oh, man, sign me up. I'll pay for the hotel room, right? Okay, cool. Flip that scenario around. I'm not saying that there aren't any women that will sleep with a married man. There are a good amount of women. But it's harder to find those women for most men, right? Those women exist, and the men that are capable of sleeping with those women also exist. But those numbers drop significantly when you talk about men cheating on women, right? They drop a lot. So now a man to get a side chick, he has to manipulate the side chick while simultaneously manipulating his wife. So the likelihood that something goes wrong jumps up exponentially. Because now you're manipulating two people. Whereas a woman, she can just find random dude. She can tell that mother, hey, he won't even ask because he don't care. But let's say he does ask. She'll tell him, yep, I got a man. What about it? I don't care. Cool.
Like the first comment I made when I came in, or maybe even the second one, was I said that the issue that I have with men is that they don't like women who teach them things and they can heal them. A lot of times those women are intimidating to those men. They don't like the women who teach them.
So look, the issue, according to her, the issue in the community is black women and who's raising them, but black men don't want women who's going to uplift them and cause them to elevate and change. So that means black men are purposely, even if the issue was black women raising kids, single mothers, black men, according to her logic, is out looking for the very type of woman that's going to be conducive to absenteeism. He's going to go pick a woman that's going to be conducive to him walking out on her based on the type of woman that he likes. She herself said, which black men don't. We know they don't. Black men will tell you they don't want a strong woman. They don't want a woman with standards, expectations, and boundaries. They don't want an elevated woman. They don't want that type of woman. So that means they want a lesser woman who's going to be the mother of their children. Then they're going to walk out on that lesser woman because of the problems that come with a lesser woman. So either way, they would still be to blame. Yeah, I thought she said black men were in the home being protectors too, but I'm telling you, she's which I'm going to go ahead and share the screen because look, you go see the amount of contradictions she's making. And that's because, like I said, black male worship is based on lies.
Woman who is and you can't necessarily make them women sound like those ones. That's the biggest problem with black men and people because the women who are supposed to be there to help them up and get them better, they're not strong enough to withstand.
I'm so confused. So you think the biggest problem is that men can't withstand the women in the relationship because the women are like too much for them? That's what you're saying, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, I'll play along. So, you know what? I agree. Matter of fact, when you think about it, I agree. I do. I agree with that. You're right. I don't think that's the biggest problem, but I do agree that black men, we can't handle like strong women, independent women, educated women. We can't. I agree with that. I 100% agree with that. We can't. We don't know what to do, right? And then what does that turn into, though? Now we're in the relationship. The woman is too strong for us, and then what do we do in the relationship to combat that? Do we leave most of the time, or do we stay?
I mean, I don't know the statistics because again, I don't want to say it.
I'm just asking you based on your knowledge. What do you think? Yeah.
That's off my head. I would say that. Can you ask the question again?
So, in the relationship that you described, where the woman is too strong for the man, right? Now that man is overwhelmed by that woman. How does he go about handling that relationship moving forward? Does he leave or does he stay?
I've been in that situation, and thank goodness my dude was kind of strong.
But I'm asking you. But you said most men can't handle the woman. So I'm saying, so now we're talking about the men who can't handle the women. They're in a relationship, though. They have the woman, they can't handle her. Typically, do those men stay or do those men leave?
They'll leave.
No, they don't. Yeah, they stay.
I think they stay. And you think they get next?
That's what I was going to say. They try to break her down.
Exactly. See? That's exactly what's happening. They'll cheat.
Now, mind you, she already said previously that black men only turn bad because they've been manipulated and heartbroken by a woman. Now she's admitting that even when a black man meets a strong woman, and she said a black man specifically, and we know because black men are the only ones who advertise, I don't want an independent woman, I don't want a woman with standards, her expectations are too high, she got too many boundaries. We know black men run around looking for the opposite of an actual good woman. She's acknowledging that now, but she said before that, these men are only bad because a woman is breaking their heart. But now you're admitting that when a man does meet a good woman because he can't deal with her, rather than leaving her, which is what he should do. He should just leave her. But instead he does. He sits there and he tries to break down her self-esteem and reduce her to a low-tier woman because that's what he wants. This is why I'm saying, understand the contradiction. The reason there's the contradiction here, because black male worship is based on lies. You have to lie to defend black men. You cannot defend black men with the truth because the truth will condemn him.
They'll gaslight her. They'll abuse her. Use narcissistic tactics to abuse her and break her down and all of that stuff. That's exactly what they'll do. Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep. Again, leads me back to my point. The biggest problem in the black community are black men.
Can I say one more part? Because for the black men, for real, they're like the structure. You know what I'm saying?
No, they're not.
Keep things in line when they're right. When they're right, they're supposed to keep things in line.
That's right. I think
they're supposed to, but they don't.
Are supposed to be support systems for women and children. I don't think we're actually supposed to be leaders. I mean,
they're not.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Okay, so where I didn't get the canon.
Yeah, men are not supposed to be leaders, and you can tell they're not supposed to be leaders. If you really think about and observe the results of male leadership, which is the system that we're in now, look at the results of male leadership where males kill themselves. That's the biggest thing. Under male leadership, males are not happy to the degree that they are killing themselves. You have constant war, constant division, constant chaos. The planet is dying. There's homelessness all over the place, child molestation, trafficking of human beings. This is male leadership.
So what is
this is male leadership. The air is no longer safe to breathe. The water is unsafe to drink. The planet is dying. This is male leadership here.
So what is their role? What should their role be? What are they here for?
They should be the enforcement arm of women's leadership. Women should be leading. Men should be putting it into action. Much like how White women are the brains behind white supremacy. White men enforce it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it should be. Women should be leading. Men should be supporting in her leadership and enforcing her leadership. They should not be leading at all. They don't even have the mindset that's conducive. They're illogical. They think on a sexual level. They can sit here and say you will blow the world up over you having a period, which no woman has ever done. And you had an active queen sitting over there in England. She's been having periods, ain't never blew up the UK. But we do know men will topple, empires will fall over sex. Yep. Empires will fall over a man trying to gratify his sexual urge. Wars are caused. Like devastation on mass level is caused by a man getting offended. You can't offend a man without running the risk that now they going to war. So 2 countries are going to war because the man is offended. Because they're emotionally unhinged. They don't have the mindset. If they'll kill you for rejecting their advances, they are not mentally or emotionally sane enough to be leading a country. But they are, though. And women are sitting in an internalized inferior position, comfortably in it, actually, too comfortable.
I think women created.
Go ahead.
Women created patriarchy. That's what I feel. That's what
I don't believe women created patriarchy. That is a false statement. Yeah, women didn't create.
I think they want to be under patriarchy. They want to be under patriarchy.
Yeah, I do think women want to be under patriarchy because they were stupid enough to listen to men tell them that patriarchy is a male god's way. Because women were dumb enough to believe and accept the male god, that is why they're in patriarchy. Mm-hmm. Women want to be in patriarchy because they're told it's the natural divine order. Man, God, man, woman, child.
If you've been told for centuries that that's your role, it's not saying that we inherently want to be under patriarch. It's just how it's been for so long. So it's going to take some time for women to come into consciousness. So it's not that, it's just we're unconscious. I don't think that we consciously want to be doing it. We've been under pressure for so long.
If you look up the origins, what are the origins of human males? What are the origins of human males? And I'm looking this up for a reason. Look, even we know the first human on the planet was a woman, right? We know it was a female. We know that the first human on the planet was a female and she was not accompanied by a male. Yet, if you look up what is the origins of human males, you have 2 things that come out. One is the Bible, the other just saying they originated in Africa, but they will never give you a period of time. Why? Because men are a mutation. Men do not know. Let me shut my window for a second. Men don't even know what their point of origin was. That's why they created religion. They don't have a point of origin, not that they know of. So because they don't know their point of origin, or they don't want you to know their point of origin, they've created religion. Because they're saying some of the earliest known human ancestors include the Australopithecus and Homo habilis, but that was a female. And mind you, I asked when was the male first known? It'll give you the out of Africa theory. And then it will say evolution of sexual dimorphism, but they won't give you a date. They'll just say, as humans evolved, the physical differences between males and females, sexual dimorphism became more pronounced, with males developing larger body size and muscle mass. Yeah, but where is their point of origin? What date did we see the first male fossils come up? Where? The first male human bones. Where were they? Where? Because they'll tell you, Lucy. We all know Lucy, but we don't have a point of origin for Luke. We don't have a point of origin for him. That's why they attach it to the Bible. They attach it to the Bible because they don't know their origin. They should not have been able to convince some females who were on the planet for much longer than males. How were they even able to come convince you to let them lead? They weren't even able to tell you where they came from. Where did they come from?
I don't think they convinced us. I think it was more of an oppression. Men are bigger. We're having baby.
But where did they come from?
They came from women, of course, but I think it was
right.
more.
But when? What was the point in time when we know they came from women? We know that the Y chromosome of the mutated X. So we know they came from women. They couldn't have come from anywhere else. When though? Because the reason why I'm asking this is because we're speculating as to women being deceived. We're speculating and saying, well, women were forced, where women were deceived. Okay, we know about the Christian Crusades. Men were here before the Christian Crusades, so we know about that. So when and how did they convince women to let them take lead? When? And how do we know they forced it? How do we know that they didn't just come convince women of some foolishness, which the woman would have had to be Black? So we're literally talking about Black women here. These would have had to be Black women because we know Black women are the first here. So the first male, science has confirmed, was Black. How did Black women allow these Black males to convince them to allow them to lead? And when did they do it?
People can be beaten into submission.
Right. We know they can. We know they can be beaten into submission. We know a lot of things can happen for them to submit. What I'm asking is, how do you know that took place?
Well, Christianity.
Again, so men created the Christian Crusades where they went around forcing Christianity on everybody and killing them. They were already here to start the Christian Crusades. White men started that. So we're going all the way back to when Black men were around. How did they convince Black women to let them lead? How did they convince Black women?
I don't know if we don't know. Because
this would have had to start with Black women. It would have. It just would have had to start with Black women. You were here first. So it had to start with African women. How did African men trick African women into letting them lead? How? Because there was a point when
I don't think it was a trick.
Right, but here's the thing:
nations. That was a point.
No, but Steph, we know that much of Africa, the majority of it, was matriarchal. Mm-hmm. So we know that's recorded in history. So what did these Black males do to overthrow the matriarchy? Because you're basically saying the males overthrew the matriarchy.
Okay, I get. If you're asking, then it would be with religion, whether it's Islam or Christianity that was
adopted.
Well, Christianity come from Europeans. That is Christianity is a European creation. Yes, even in Ethiopia, it is a European creation. It is not a Black creation, contrary to what y'all want to believe. It is a European creation. Black people came across Christianity from different groups of Europeans. So I'm saying in terms of men taking over the power, are we saying white men did that and then Black men just sold out Black women and then white men successfully turned the whole planet patriarchal? That sounds about right. Yeah. That sounds like, logically, if I was going to guess what would have happened, then I would have to guess that Black men would have then sold Black women out to white men who would have then took over everything and turned everything patriarchal. That's most likely what happened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. For power, I could see them doing that.
But they still selling you out, though. That's the thing. Black men are still selling Black women out. Why are Black women not learning from history?
They sell anybody out.
But this is a learning impediment for Black women. Why aren't Black women responding to being sold out repeatedly? And how are Black women responding to that? Repeatedly, Black men keep selling you out.
Well, that's why, like, people like you and it's other YouTubers too. Again, it's consciousness, people awakening to these reality because it was even you who put it out there, and then a few other, now it's going viral. Oh, women didn't get their right till 1970. And before that, we're fighting double oppression. So all of this now, people such as you or even us talking, this is just new. A lot of people probably aren't even aware of it. It's just it was, you're speaking of it. Even the worshipers that's on here, like the Mules, it's just these things where they need that light, that flicker of light to get them thinking and say, you know what, to awaken. So awakening is happening.
Yes.
Yeah, just saying what you're saying sounds about correct, and it actually you can get a idea of how some of it happened. Like you can piece things together to kind of infer what happened, basically make an educated guess on what would have happened. And I think what you're saying is true, where Just Saying said no black men were the first to overthrow their mother's power, and they used white men to do it. Then Miss Connor said Egypt was the first world power that the pharaohs ruled. They were men. No, they weren't. Because if you rule, all of the pharaohs of Egypt were not men. And Egypt was still matriarchal. And we know it was matriarchal because the way in which white Asians took power of Europe, of Egypt, was through the woman, not the man. But what black men were doing is Egyptian black men, according to the destruction of black civilization, they were integration minded. They were integration minded. Much like how they are now. I'm telling y'all, if y'all go read over the history of Egypt, it's going to literally mirror the U.S. I literally thought I was reading about the civil rights movement when I was reading about the whitewashing of Egypt. Because basically what they said they were doing is the African men were helping and arranging unions between white Asians and African women because that was the only way for the white Asians to inherit power and control. They had to get that through the woman. So African men were assisting with that. They were assisting to help those white males get power through marriages and children of African women. That's what they were doing. And they were doing that in Egypt because they were integration minded. As soon as they laid eyes on white people, they literally wanted to worship them and to work with them. And so black men actively began working with them, not by force. Black men were not forced. They actively, voluntarily began working with them according to that book because they were integration minded, meaning they wanted to see white people coming into power over Egypt. And that's why I say every black person should go take a trip to London and go look in the British Museum. Read the stuff read the captions on the pictures and look at the pictures of how you see African men voluntarily helping to carry out Egyptian statues and artifacts. They were helping the Europeans to do that. You can see it. You can see it clear. Now, is Tariq gonna go to the British Museum and then look at stuff and then tell you in hidden colors that there's pictures of black men actively helping them to carry it out? No. But if you go into the British Museum, you will see it yourself. You will see.
Also, I don't know if they knew the intentions when the colonizers were coming, just like many other natives.
I don't think they cared about the intentions. They likely didn't care about the intention. Do black men care whether you face racism today? Do black men care if a white man was to shoot you in front of them? Would a black man care, or would he make excuses as to why that should have happened to you?
Girl, they wouldn't care. That's why I don't care anymore. I am so tired. These men got to take care of themselves. I'm not protesting for anyone. Just like you said, and I just retweeted it actually on my Facebook. 2 men were fighting and 1 man lost.
Yeah, no, that's literally what happened. 2 men got into an altercation.
And
One
then I,
man was making threats toward women, from what it sounds like. One man was being a terrorist on the train. Another man stepped up and confronted him. They got into an altercation. One man lost. It just is
right.
that's how I see it.
And
This is
before
a
you even
civilian.
said all of this, on there at the bottom, I'll put if you punish the man that stood up, I put it will be a field day on women and children. Because I've been on a metro and these bandits on there. And sometimes it's like, if these bandits decided to do something to me, who's gonna stand up? A lot of
Nobody.
these other
That's why.
bandits are not gonna stand up.
You supposed to
That's why.
stand up.
That's why I said in my video, if white men wanted to kill black women, who in mass? Who would stop them?
Nothing.
Because it wouldn't be black men. It
Somebody
damn sure
said I'm
wouldn't be
supposed
black
to
men.
stand up. No, I'm not fighting no man on the train. Of course, I'll defend myself, but it shouldn't have to get there. I will want another man to stand up and say, "Hey, quit! Like, take care of it."
So Brooklyn said, if y'all go to Portugal, you will see the castle of the Moors and all the paintings. I definitely want to go to Portugal.
I've been there. I've seen
New
it.
World Queen from New World Tarot, she said that even when she went to Argentina, they basically had a story and a history of why they don't like black men in Argentina. And heavily within that story that she told was black men's worship of whiteness and their abandonment of black women, the worship of white women, and the fact that they were taking white women against their will to the degree that the men ran them out of Argentina. So all throughout history, there's literally a historical record of black men selling black women out. Black women still ain't learned. This is the problem. Black women still ain't learned. Like, how many times are you going to go through this loop before you learn?
I want to say, I ain't saying Tara and Steph. Hey, yeah, I was like going to wait until you finish the video to come up, but I just wanted to, I mentioned the Moors and New World Tarot, kind of detailing the history of the mothers of sons and black men overthrowing power. And I've been saying for a minute, for over a year, that my theory that I'm seeing more and more evidence of is that black men created white supremacy through, one, overthrowing their mother's power and then worshiping whiteness, and then that spread. So it was that kind of escapism from what they thought was their egalitarian deal with black women, and then privileging and pedestals and the people who came in to colonize. That's what so they ushered it in. And when I said that you have to be willing to stand up for yourself, the male as a protector is a fantasy. So at this point, we're talking about, I don't want to say war, but like aggression, male aggression. And you have to be, you can't wait for another man to kind of protect you. You may want that, but you have to be ready, meaning literally cocked and ready to be able to defend yourself. Because these men, now that patriarchy is like publicly failing them, they're blaming women for that. So they're going to be acting in that denature why thing. But yeah, I know you have some more video to get to too.
I do. I definitely do want to get to some more, because I think we have like an hour and a half before I'm going to jump off of here, because I'm going to start getting a headache and I still kind of don't feel good. That's why I'm actually laying in the bed right now. But the thing is, I believe one of the reasons black men don't respect black women is because of how long they've been able to exploit and sell black women out and still retain their loyalty. Yeah. That is not a recipe that's conducive for respect, because it shows that as a group, you don't respect yourself. And nobody is going to respect you when you don't even respect yourself. Like, black women are literally allowing black men to continuously put them in this negative cycle based on their own treason. Like, even at this point, if you think about it, black men have given black women every reason, both by word and action, every reason to walk away, and black women won't do it. They will not do it. And I think we know, and you can ask anybody who specializes in domestic violence, that the more you tolerate the abuse, the worse it gets. And it gets worse for a reason, because that man becomes more emboldened by the lack of respect and value you have for yourself. And your presence there shows him that his behavior and the abuse is okay. You don't have to think it's doing that, but in the abuser's mind, if you are still there or if you keep coming back, then the abuse is okay. That's
normalized.
That's why these bandits keep abandoning their kids, because Black women keep having kids with them.
Yeah.
You know what? I think, Sam, before you played the video, it's like the reason I actually came up with this because I think your question was like, it was difficult to receive because it's not whether or not we're raising Black women's consciousness. The question that I heard you ask and someone pointed out in the chat was, why so long? Like, it's not that they haven't been obvious. It's been in our faces. So we're going to the Moors, we're going to the Egyptians, we're going to the continent, we're going to post-plantation, pre-plantation, and on the plantation. Their behavior has been consistent. What is it where Black women are not receiving that? That's the question you ask, not whether or not the consciousness needs to be raised and whether or not it's being raised. 1, 2. I thought it's so interesting. I made a comment in the chat that the woman who's calling in, I made a joke, was that Toby, I don't know how to say his last name, the Nigerian rapper's wife, because, he just recently went viral for really mistreating her while he was doing a vow renewal. So it's like, that is the norm. The norm is the domestic violence that you're pointing out. It's not an individual case, it's a collective case. And when Black men see that, not only, that's why that woman is struggling, the bot in this video is struggling, because on one end, she worships Black men, and that's a Black man that she's talking to. Mm-hmm. On the other end, he's not on the normal rhetoric that they have. So she's struggling with what her one bandit told her to this one. She don't know. That's why that aggression is like coming out, but it's muted, because she's like, she wants to go off. If that was a woman, she would have cussed her out a long time ago. So I just want to put it out there. Would have.
I absolutely agree that the fact that what part of what's making this difficult for her is that the truth is coming from a man.
Yeah, that's how I was saying she was working out them facts and that common sense and that like just kind of that casual stance that he's taking. She's struggling. That's why she's going on mute at different points. She is really struggling, and then she goes into wild statements because she can't actually. She don't know what to do, because she, on one end, it's almost like she is getting a sort of a validation for that experience that she must be going through with that bandit. I didn't watch it beforehand, but you said that there's a history with that husband. So
she's gonna get into it soon here too.
Let me go on mute so you can get to the
video. Yeah, because I'm telling you, this is nasty, and the only conclusion you can take away from this is that this woman has zero self-love. That's all you can take. You can't do anything else with it. And you're going to be able to tell by his facial expression that there's a recognition of how, of the extent of damage that Black men have done to the psyche of Black men. Like it's going to become obvious. And to me, it became obvious in his facial expression just how warped Black women's mindset is as it refers to Black men and the abuse that they've been doling out. And that's one of the things I want to show too, because you can see the level of abuse that this woman has suffered just by what she's saying. You can tell the extent of the mental and emotional abuse that she suffered. Oh, hold on, because I have to put it. Were you able to hear it? Because I know they say. Oh, okay, yeah. Because it went off the speaker. We were talking, so the speaker disconnected.
I can't stand this image. Like I was in the chat saying, "Hey, can we please? This lady is too much."
Yeah, but that's what it's given. It's given like I'm just the manager of these mules. Is what it's giving. And so this is like a disturbing mentality. That's why I was like, when I heard it, I was like, okay, yeah, we got to put the celebrity gossip on hold real quick, because this mindset has to be flushed out. Like you have to, like, I just had to show y'all the extent. Because this is a product of ongoing abuse, like an ongoing abusive cultural dynamic is how this mindset develops. And I think Black women don't see because the culture is abuse, we don't see it as abuse.
Yeah, it's the ocean. So they don't know it's water.
Yep, just like you can't convince white people that they actually have white privilege because they see this as the norm. But you can see they got, there's something different about their experience, because when Jane Elliott ran around asking them, did they want to be treated like black people? They said no. So they acknowledge a difference, but they will deny that they have a privilege.
Yep. But that benefits them though too.
For black women, I know there's a problem here. And if you ask me and bring it to my awareness, I'm going to admit that there's a problem here. But in the meantime, I'm going to act like there ain't. Unless somebody is pointing out the problem, I don't see it. They don't see it unless you point it out to them.
That's true. And they've done a good job of like triangulating white men's system with black women. So the fear is in black women said either white supremacy or black males degeneracy. They don't see that it's the same thing. They don't get that part.
Yeah, it is. This is bad, though.
The Secret Service protects the president. They're to protect the leader. Somebody is supposed to be protecting the leader. The person that's the glue, the person that is having everything run smoothly, the protector is there to keep that person in place.
There to keep that person in place. I don't think men, I think we can. Men aren't the protectors, because the thing that women need to be protected from first and foremost are men. The things that women need to be protected from first and foremost are men. So you can't be the predators and the protectors. So if men weren't predatory,
you see how deep her hatred for women goes? Like she can't be in a discussion where black mentioned if you're not villainizing women, because really this very little to do with women, because at the end of the day, the man in this patriarchy is the leader. He is the leader in the patriarchy by default. So there wouldn't be a woman take accountability. But keep this in mind while she's saying women need to take accountability. When it comes to her own experience, keep this in mind.
What do you want women to take accountability?
Making horrible selections for partners.
Okay. So you want women to take accountability for who they choose, but you don't think that the men who they choose, who actually abuse it, are the problem.
I feel like if the woman was not in her head, if she was not looking and paying attention to the wrong shit, she would end up with an abuser. But
so once again, I hear that. But the abuser abused her, and you're saying that that's her fault because the abuser abused her.
Yeah, yes. You have to be able to be able to judge character. And if you're distracted by a watch, you're distracted by a car, if you're distracted by a position, you're distracted by a location where you met a person, if you're distracted by words, you will be tricked by an abuser.
Did y'all see did you see her saying if you're distracted by a watch, if you're distracted by a car? So meaning if you want a man to have tangible things that they actually need in a capitalistic society, then if that man abuses you, then you are to blame because you shouldn't have wanted him to have a watch and a car. This is the extent that her mind is gone by these bandits. This is bandit banter, 100%. She's just a mouthpiece for it.
These types of women are dangerous for other women to be around too.
Yep, they are.
Very much so.
But most black women think like her.
Yes,
most
they do.
Black women think like her.
Yep, and right. I had to learn.
That's why the girls are raised and the boys
black
are loved.
male worshipers, the women, it's hard. You have to, they will throw you under you're not safe. And I think it was Priscilla talking about this. Any man that overly worships a man, particularly black men, you're not safe because they don't see you as needing protection or as another human being. You're almost disposable.
Yeah, they are. Black women make themselves disposable. That is a perfect word to describe it as. Black women are absolutely disposable to black men. And one of the reasons why black women are so exposable to black men, because they have unrestricted access to you. That's why. That's one of the biggest reasons why you're so disposable, is because as black women, we were conditioned a lot by black women, because this is a black woman. If she had kids, which she didn't mention whether she had them, she would pass this down to her daughters. This is how the cycle is repeating. And Black women need to understand this. If you are still listening to Black men and passing down their dusty, degenerate narratives, you are perpetuating the cycle just as much as they are.
And if you're her girlfriend, let's say you guys went out and it was a guy didn't see the need to protect you or your drink or anything, it's almost, oh, well, you shouldn't have done that. Or she'll giggle with him. She
would think that you deserved it because you were in the bar to begin with.
She probably doesn't have girlfriends, to be honest.
You have to be, if they're, well, you can have girlfriends, but if they're male-centered and worshipers, then you just have to be careful or stay away.
They see you as their competition.
Worse.
Yes, they do.
So imagine if this minded Black woman was the president.
Oh my God.
Then that's the only reason why this is one of the reasons why I'm pointing this out.
She would let all Black men
This
off.
mentality does not need to be in politics. It does not need to be in politics. Most Black women have this mentality. And most Black women, especially when they're attached to Black men, have this mentality. So yes, I would vote for Kamala Harris before I voted for a Black woman. Why? Because her mindset is less conducive to the Black male degeneracy and chaos. Kamala is not about to make a Black man the priority, but a Black woman who's married to a Black man, she will.
Or has a son.
Not all now. We have some conscious ones like those, us listening, people. So, but I hear you.
Yeah, but we're in the minority.
Issue.
We're in the minority though.
Yeah, well, like it's a collective issue, babe. Like I feel like when Cynthia was asking earlier about why are we stuck when there's all this evidence, and the answer was about raising consciousness and all that stuff. It's like we too, the people who are over here, have to also use different strategies to kind of rid themselves more and more of the programming. So we're not program free over here, and you're talking to a person who don't give a F about them. So like we can't be delusional about the fact that because Black girls are abused the most, that means that Black women are assisting in that. Mm-hmm. It's a collective project. Black men and their bots, and the majority of Black women, whether through religion or through the culture that's informed by religion, are behaving in a way that this woman is talking. That's why we have Black men being the Tobys, being the Mary J. Blige's husband. Like they're publicly abuse us because it's the collective cultural norm. That's what Cynthia is speaking on.
Yeah, this is a cultural collective norm. Mind you, that has been around since we've been in this country. And it's so prevalent, and it's permeated in literally every aspect of our culture. And that's why you can have a woman getting triggered like her, because she was getting mad and she is getting aggressive every time she sits there. Notice how she says it with a nasty attitude. But women have to take accountability for something. Like, but you're not going to blame women. This can't be on men. You have to put this on women. That's basically what she's saying. Why aren't you putting this on women?
Because when he does a statistic or a fact and she can't rebut it, like when he said that how are men both the abusers and the protectors, she goes straight to women are allowing them to be abusers. She can't actually deny or take back the fact or answer. So she goes straight to, she did it before when he asked a question about men, how they were something. And she went single mothers. Single mothers wasn't even the topic. She just brought that up. And when he said abandoned fathers who abandoned, she cannot go there, because then she would have to look at that band that she's with. She would have to look at her actual situation. She would look at the fact that she was abused as a child, because that's what is given to me. And then really contend
not just as a child in her marriage, not just as a child in her marriage. The problem for her is, this is her husband's mindset. That's who this is who she's parroting. She's parroting the sentiments of her husband. That's why it's an issue, because now it's like, okay, my husband told me this, but he's telling me this. Now this Black man is sitting up here contradicting with proof everything her husband told her.
Right. But what I'm saying is she would have to go straight to why she even chose to be in a marriage where because that's her logic, right? That she chose that abuser of her husband. She would have to go to what led to that. It's too much for her. So she's just going to.
No, it's going to be different when it's her.
It's
different when it's her. Yeah, now that she's the one who's because it's going to be turned around after she tells her story. But let me get into her story, because then they're going to turn everything that she said back on her.
What if it's not that? What if it's just that he lied to her and he masked and he was a nice guy, quote unquote? He was love bombing her at first, and he was showering her with gifts and compliments and all of that stuff. And then he switched up and then he started to abuse. Well, that's what happens the majority of the time, though. So can I ask you a question? Do you know when women are most likely to be abused?
While they're pregnant.
While they're pregnant, right? How would she know? How would she know?
Okay, so let me ask you a question. I don't know what your preference is, but when you choose a partner, do you just jump head first into it, or do you take your time to try to get to know this person and put two and two together? Because the thing that I know is this: we're grown here. We can't ask people questions and expect them to tell us the truth, because people lie. So we have to be grown enough to understand that, hey, this person is saying things. I'm going to take my time. I'm going to observe. So you observe. Yeah. Come on, husbands. Did you get part of it?
Go back to that. So yeah, men lie for years. So that's during that vetting process. You have observed them mask. You didn't know they were masking, but
listen, a vetting process do not and cannot last for years. The way vetting is structured, what vetting is, it ain't gonna be a 2-year process. She's basically saying that you need to spend 2 years observing a man.
Oh my God.
And if you don't spend 2 years observing him before you get why are you observing a man for 2 years before you date him?
Before you having sex? What's going on? What is she like?
That sounds retarded. That doesn't even, it makes no sense. What do you mean observe a man for 2 years? But this is the lens they go through to vindicate me.
Self-hate. They hate other women. They hate themselves. They can't find empathy and love for themselves and then extend it to other women, Black women. So it's just easier for them to hate.
It's not that it's easier for them to hate women. Men have taught them to hate women because men hate women because religion taught men to hate women. Okay. That's why.
Observed them while they had the mask on. And it's 2, 3, 4 years into the relationship. That's a long time.
Early on in the relationship for the most part.
Okay. Cheryl said, for water and a bologna sandwich. Tanaka said, you don't see them being unreasonable. You see women responding to months, even years of some sort of abuse, cheating, lying, beating, etc. Tanaka said, oh dear, I'm gonna hold your hand with tweezers when I say this. You're a picky. Shrimp said, ask her how many times she has cheated versus how many times she's been cheated on. That's a good question. Have you ever?
Okay, so this is when she gets into her story. This is what I want you to pay attention to, and then start taking the stuff off that you had on your mind that she said before as you listen to her story.
Once.
And how many times have you cheated?
Cheat.
So you've been cheated on more times than you've been cheated on. So you've cheated more. I'm sorry, you've been cheated on more times than you cheated. Okay. Were you to blame for that man cheating on you? How so?
My mouth.
Be more specific. What do you mean, your mouth? You mean just the way you want to do it? Okay.
I was being disrespectful.
Okay. So you need to leave.
Now you saying you want to leave? The disrespect was warranted. This one's.
Oh, so you were just matching his disrespect.
Pretty much.
Okay. So he first abused you. You reacted, and then he further escalated the abuse by cheating on you. And you're saying that that's your fault?
So what I'm saying is, let's see, you can harness this. You know, two things. You see what thing that we look at. We can either choose to look at it from a positive perspective or from a negative perspective. So you can get these both perspectives, right?
So give me your perspective, though. I don't like, you know what I mean? Whatever it is, I just want to know your perspective.
Is that we all make mistakes. We all do things.
Is cheating a mistake?
Person that can put him in heaven or hell.
But wait, you can put that nigga in the dirt. Wait, is cheating a mistake? Are you qualifying cheating as a mistake? Okay, so what do you mean we all make mistakes?
Oh, okay, so here we go. Okay, so you said I think that cheating is a mistake. No, I don't believe it's a mistake. However, I still don't believe that it's to be demonized. No.
Interesting. So why don't you cheat? Sounds like you don't think it's that bad.
Well, that's not my character.
Why not?
I cheat back though, and I probably keep doing it, but
that's not cheating though. That's not cheating.
It's just not my character. Some people is really in them, like to have interest in multiple people, and it's how they are naturally. And I don't feel like they should be beat up for that. I feel like they should probably know that about themselves and let the person that they're with know, like, hey, I like them like that. I might be able to be with you, just you. So I do feel like the lying part is the wet part. I feel like seeing more than one person is the wet part.
Everybody involved that they all willingly sign up to be seen by the same dude or same woman. I ain't gonna. That's grown people make grown people decisions. But I'm saying when the lies come in, that now you're talking about abuse, right? And you're saying that abuse isn't that bad. Like, I don't. In what world isn't abuse bad?
So you make a play on my words. So what I'm saying is that you have some people who are naturally into more than one person, and it's wrong for them to lie about it. True, but I think it's also wrong if they feel like they have to lie about it.
You see this mindset? And look at his facial expression. Because this is our mindset. It's not fair that they have to lie about cheating. Well, if it's in their nature, then why do they have to lie?
Come on.
It's in women's nature to have a period. We don't lie about having periods. It's in our nature. This is just what happens monthly. It's an aspect of nature. Why are men, if they're naturally just need to be with multiple women, then there should be no lying. There should be no lying.
If the offense is the lying and not the cheating, then why do they promote monogamy for women then? Why do men promote monogamy for women if in her mind the offense isn't the fact that he so-called cheating is literally lying? Right. Because if it's an open relationship, it's not cheating, right?
And she's relating it to a character flaw, but then trying to say it's nature. If it's a character flaw, it's a character flaw. If it's nature, it's nature. So if you're going to say the reason why I don't cheat is because I don't have that character, then you think cheating is the product of a certain character and not nature.
And none of it's making. She's struggling right now. She in the weeds, boo. She borging out. That bot is definitely discombobulated right now.
Yeah, and it's because of the dissonance that she's getting.
Wait, are you saying that? You're saying if somebody likes another person, then they're cheating?
No.
Okay, I'm so confused. What do you mean?
To like someone and to pursue them.
Yeah, pursue them is cheating. Absolutely, no doubt about it. Yeah.
This whole cheating business. Is
are you in an open relationship?
Yes, I am.
Gotcha. Okay, that's what I'm saying. But that's not cheating, though, right? You can't cheat. You can cheat in an open relationship depending on whatever bylaws or rules you guys got.
Okay, so what can we surmise from this? She says she's in an open relationship, but she acknowledges that she got. So what does that say?
I'm sorry, she's trash. And
it says she's in an open relationship because her husband wouldn't stop cheating on her.
It's open on his end.
Yeah, it's open on his end. She's lying when she says she was only cheated on once. No, you end up, because she's saying that her marriage was 9 years. He, after 7 years, that's when she caught him cheating. Do you think it was the first time he cheated, or do you think it was the first time she caught him cheating? So if you caught him cheating after 7 years and it was received as cheating, then you just now got into an open relationship with your husband so you can allow him to cheat in peace.
Mm-hmm.
That's what she's doing. She's allowing him to cheat in peace because he won't stop cheating. And then he told her that it's his nature to cheat and that her mouth is the reason why he cheated. So it sounds like he's been cheating on her and then gaslit and blamed her for it. Like a typical
he went further with the manipulation. And she also, it's like he went to the pimp logic of it after she, you know, like she was already ripe for the picking, which is what she was saying earlier about the woman who were ripe for the picking. And then he convinced her that his whole setup of lying was also about her and her mouth. So now she's trying to stay because she wants to stay in the marriage, back to your point earlier, which we won't even go to because all the flack you caught. But she wants to stay in the marriage, and she's allowing that to run the script, even though she's not okay with it and she doesn't, quote unquote, cheat. So he's the only one stepping out.
And, you know, because she's in this mess, you could see why her hatred for other women.
Yep.
Because
she hates other women, and that's why I think she said women are unreasonable, because she thinks that women should just stay and tolerate the cheating like cheating. That's why she thinks they're unreasonable.
Okay,
yeah, that's why she thinks they're unreasonable. Because remember in the beginning, she's like, oh, no, women are just unreasonable. So basically she's saying, well, if the woman is going to leave him because he cheated on her, then that's unreasonable. And she's pushing him away from his kids. The same thing bandits say.
Mm-hmm.
She's literally expressing the sentiments of her husband.
Right? But you know, being in an open relationship, that's why I said, consenting adults in an open relationship, fine. I'm not saying like that. That's not cheating, obviously. But if there's an agreement where two people come together and say, you're not going to be with anybody else but me, romantically or intimately or whatever, and then a person breaks that agreement, they cheated, they violated, and that's wrong, and it's very harmful, very harmful.
This right there. What he said is that this whole quote unquote cheating is.
Are you in an open relationship, or does your boyfriend or husband cheat on you and then you cheat back?
You're in an open relationship. And you can make sense. Someone be talking to me, talking to anyone.
Yeah, she's lying. Do you really believe that she talking to somebody and her husband ain't? You think, like, first of all, most black men ain't have an open relationship where you have sex with other men. And she does not even sound like the type of woman that would be so empowered to be in a situation where she's choosing other men outside of her husband. No, ma'am. You've been sitting around for 7 years getting cheated on, and then you found out that you was getting cheated on. He blamed you, and then you allowed him to cheat in peace, i.e. the open marriage. This woman ain't talking to no other man but the bandit that's living in a home with her. I can guarantee you she's lying.
I put money on it.
Lying. We know she lying.
Okay. And the person you're talking to knows you're in an open marriage?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. I mean, I'm shocked that for women, you can do this. Like, you can easily, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can do it. That's fine.
Yes, we have. It's typical.
Even talking to somebody else because nobody
Wait. You think we haven't heard this before? I've heard this story at least a dozen times a lot.
And then, did you see her? Did you see the way she elevated herself above everybody else? Oh, that's why he ain't talking. See, I'm saying something that nobody ever said. That's why he's talking to nobody else, because their mindset is kind of basic. No, your mindset is basic. That's what she doesn't understand, that she has the basic mindset.
She's worse than basic.
She would come undone if he showed her or told her that the other woman or women were actually better than her. She would, all this faking that she's doing, she would probably try to take him out. It's that type of thing that's holding up her belief system, is the superiority. And I'm glad you mentioned that, Cynthia, because it's like even her thinking that she's the right type of pick-me, as if they don't have a collection of pick-me's to choose from. And they actually are more intrigued.
She thinks she's the unicorn pick me. Like, girl.
Terrible.
It's like if you're a pick me, you're not a unicorn. Most women are pick me. It's like, really? It's like that's the problem. The whole problem here is women's desperation and that pick me's are in good company. Very good, very wide company.
The community dog with all its fleas and saying, "Oh, it's my dog," and the dog just goes everywhere and gets, it's just.
Which is why you said basic.
I don't understand the point in being in an open marriage. Like that doesn't. Why are you married? But you see, it kind of defeats the purpose of getting married. That doesn't like. These are just things I don't get. Open marriages where we working through cheating. I don't.
It's respectful cheating. Open marriage is the same thing as respectful cheating. I think it's the clout that comes from being acknowledged as something. Because according to the Black community, marriage is the way to freedom land. Marriage is the way, the light and the truth. So now you have the structure of while you get to have the chaos of. I don't know. I'm just putting that out there.
No, these are just confused people that just a mess, trying to justify the mess that they're in.
And it's weird because she's sharing her husband with the very women that she hates and wants to feel better than. But it's like, how can you feel better than the very women that your husband cheating on you with? It's like you can't feel better than the women that your husband cheating on you with. But with her, she wants to feel better. And that's why she went there and said, oh, well, that's why he ain't talking to nobody else because ain't nobody else like me. It's this mentality that Black women have where they want to feel better than the next person that is the problem. Because what I'm not going to be doing is flexing on no marriage that I had to open up because my husband wouldn't quit cheating. And you can best believe she working and she paying bills in that house too.
She paying the other woman's bills too. She don't know it.
She what?
I said she's paying the other women's bills too, but she don't know it.
Right. And opening it up for him to create another kid and funnel more resources out that household. That's what she's going to end up getting. Because when you have this mentality, it is a recipe for a disaster. And that's why the trophy wife is going through what she's going through. Because out of her desperate desire to put herself on a pedestal above other women, she done married a child molester and a sexual predator. And we know that because she immediately, it seems like right after she got married, she turned into a marriage guru and started telling women they smell like fish and they need to keep their legs closed and these are what you need to do to get married. Mind you, she done laid out a scenario where she chased this man.
And then on top of that, blamed another woman content creator who had the opposite message than she parroted from for the reason why she was in that situation. So
it's so annoying because her whole thing, she was the Kevin Samuels follower. Her behavior and her outcome is more likely that it came from Kevin Samuels' advice than Shira Sebens. But all she's doing by mentioning Shira is showing that she does not like women because she's trying to take another woman down with her. Shira, like, it ain't Shira's fault because even let's say Shira Sebens led you to that man. You put in your video that he raped you 4 times after you got married to him. Within the first couple months, why didn't you leave?
Before you had children. Come on now.
Yep. And so even if Shira did lead her there, it's like, it's up to you. It's up to you to decide whether or not you go stay with a man after he violates you. But keep violate in mind while you listening to this woman.
Somebody talked like this before, and I'm telling you, you are not the person you want me to last. Trust me, it happens. We see, we hear it all the time. Yeah, with these trust me, people are all like in many walks of life. Jazzy said, "On Big Me should open the schools." Man, this is interesting. Tonight I'll ask you, how come you didn't vet better? And how did the relationship become open? You just got.
So
So for black man in relationship with a black woman, I gave him his 7 years with that routine. And if this is black man being the biggest problem in the community, come on now. Again,
cheating on you for 7 years?
What do you mean?
You said you gave her props for not cheating on you for 7 years.
A man she married to.
Yeah, the last one. Like she is.
That's what I'm saying. I just repeated the same thing you said. Yeah. I did. I heard you. You don't think that the bar you had set for your husband is really low?
It's super low.
The majority of people crying about being at home and all of these relationships about gender wars. Not too many people who are very unrealistic in when it comes to relating to another person. That's why they're alone by themselves. Because it seems to be perfect in a relationship, which is not happening. But if somebody violates you or makes you feel sad, you want to run and leave and find somebody else that can do the same thing.
She said every time somebody violates you and make you feel sad, you're gonna run. You running if somebody is violating you. But the reality is, now notice how this woman is trying to exempt herself now that they're turning it back on her, because she said, oh, women aren't paying attention and the red flags are in the beginning. So why didn't you see the red flag that your bandit of a husband was going to be on Instagram cheating then? Because the reality is, if he's on Instagram, that's not a mistake. That means he's out there looking, actively pursuing a woman to cheat on you with, and you can best believe he had sex with that woman.
And before 7 years too.
Yep, and probably many more. But her thing is, we already see her mentality. If a man violates you, you shouldn't walk away. Because you just gonna meet a man, mind you, because you just gonna meet another man who's gonna violate you. But then in the beginning, she said that men are genuine. So why would you have to run the risk of another man violating you if you leave one man who violated you? If men are genuine, they don't lie, they not predators. So
they're genuine and protectors.
Yeah, they're genuine protectors. So why do you have to fear another man violating you? That doesn't make any sense.
And why doesn't it extend to women? Why is she mad at women? Because you're just supposed to stay when people violate you. So if someone didn't do something, or they do something, or whatever her issue with women is, why she got a problem? People violating, you're just supposed to deal with it.
Yep. But this is her thing, because she that's why they seen going alone and I'm not. Well, anybody can be with a man if they gonna tolerate anything that he do. It's like a man
anybody can get a bandit
if he can do whatever he wants to.
Right.
Yep.
She's out of her mind.
She gone. She nasty. And she's gone.
Hold on, go ahead.
No, I was just saying she's gone. She's nasty and she is gone.
Yeah, this is what warped her mind. And you can tell he's noticing how tragically warped her mindset is. But this is the product of listening to black men. You are going to sound like a lunatic when you listen to black men. And especially when you parrot. She about to be on Fatal Attraction. Brooklyn said she's about to be on First 48.
Yes, and these are the type of women that get it, that they attack. These are low tier women.
Yeah, they are. They're low tier women. They absolutely are.
You understand that? But it sounds like, boy, Asher, but it's
violation or make you feel sad, you want to run and leave and find somebody else that do the same thing.
That's for you to decide. But for the women and the people that do want to like leave when they're abused, I wholeheartedly understand that. But it sounds like, boy, Asher, but it sounds like you're actually making my point, because you're saying that black men are cheaters. First you said black men and black. Oh no, wait. First you said black men, and you said men and women cheat about the same. And now you're saying, oh, I had to give this man props for lasting 7 years because men don't typically last that long, especially a black man. So you're contradicting yourself. You know men cheat more. That is that. You said it.
You see how she getting mad again because he's pointing out. You see how she getting mad and aggressive again because he pointing out her contradictions?
Yeah, he's taking away that superiority.
Yeah, he is. away that sense of superiority and shattering her, and is attempting to shatter her delusion, and she's getting mad because of it. And that's because she got that bandit sitting up there in that house doing a number on her psyche.
Well, you said that strategy the same, earlier. That's what you said. That's just what you said. Hold on. It's not about the exact. Because it's not about the exact number. You said that men and women cheat the same amount, and I had to look up some because I told you they did, and you said that. Because I know, but you always knew what you just said to me right now. That's my point. That's not like you just realized what you just said. You knew that 20 minutes ago. He said, no, listen to what I'm saying. You knew what you just said about black men being like you feeling lucky because your man didn't cheat on you for 7 years because black men, they don't cheat. Like, that's what they gonna do. That's pretty much what you were saying. That would, you said you gave him props for making it 7 years, making it through the 7 years.
Absolutely, I had to give him props because the 10 years you cheat on me is the problem. Realistic.
Look at her. She looking at what all these other women going through with they niggas. Mm-hmm. So that doesn't contradict what you said before, though? Because she said before that the men were genuine. The men are honest. The men are the victims of the women, but now she's saying, oh, I look at what all these other women are going through with they niggas.
Really important. Cool. Hey, what it is? And you can't see help. The girl can't do the right.
So she can't bet because she chose to cheat. Strat said she's Serena Joy, but confused why she can't count to 10 on her hands. So tonight just I'm reading it. People are paying to make these kind of like I'm picking them out. Yeah. Tonight just said you said that women should choose better, but that men aren't honest about being a cheater. So how are women going to vet that? You also said that men are more honest than women were. You said women are more diabolical, but then right now, again, you knew this before. The same thing I'm saying. You said that right now. You just said that black men are going to like that's what we do, we cheat. And then now you're saying I put my man through the ringer, but then when I looked around and went, hold on, Astro. Then you said, but when I looked around at everybody else's relationship, I'm paraphrasing now, but you're like, basically, I'm seeing that all these women getting abused by their men, right? Then how are women the diabolical ones?
So you have to understand and see this is the part where okay, so when a man cheats, he went out and just some shit like that. A woman cheat, she'll be big up plate, place for the kids. You know what I'm saying? This nigga paying for boyfriend at the shop. Just cheating.
How do they change the men do? You call them diabolical? No. Cheating is diabolical. Cheating in and of itself is diabolical. But I'm saying, okay, I'll see that, and I'll raise you. What's more diabolical, bringing a nigga a plate or bringing your woman back an STD?
And a plate.
Dang.
But they typically don't, though. Men do that to women. Well, you're not going to do that because that's the reality, though. That's true. You got to deal with that one. Maybe that's the real thing. She could. No. She could. Hold on. If we're living
now look at her because she hates women so much. When women do it, it's worse, even if men do it more. That's what she said. Because she has to find a way to villainize women. She's been trained to hate women and herself. Mm-hmm. So now, because he already said men cheat more than women, he already proved that. Now she has to prove that women's cheating is worse, even though men do it more, because bringing a man a plate is, of course, worse than bringing a woman a disease and a side baby and some drama with a side chick who want to fight her.
Yeah, that's why I said women like this are dangerous to other women because You're not safe around them.
No, you're absolutely not. I don't even, she wouldn't, with this woman's mindset, a woman will be a fool to be friends with her.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
She don't give women friends to me. Number one. Number two,
you
is like,
come to her house and let's say her husband, so-called husband, can do something to you.
Number
she
two
probably
is also,
knows, but
hold
she
on a second,
will.
Steph. I want to finish. Like, the number two is that to your point, Cynthia, it's the majority, even though it's the way that she's logically moving is maybe something that's to her, it's the majority of Black women's mindset. So then we would have to also say that most Black women are not safe when it comes to prioritizing men over their women, including their friends. That's the point, because you're always making an example to show the collective mindset. So it's not an isolated issue.
I don't know what that's your opinion, but for her, yeah, she's dangerous. Women with that type of mindset.
Yeah, she's very dangerous.
Yeah, I
very,
can't.
very dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not my opinion. I'm saying that's the majority of Black women's mindset. We would not have Cynthia doing a video every week around a celebrity who exhibits the same thing, whether it's the Disney stars, name them, whether it's the R&B singers, name them, whether it's the actresses, name them, where they're actually behaving where they prioritize men. That's what I'm saying. It's a collective issue, and it's just interesting to hear someone verbalize open marriage, respectful cheating, diabolical women. It's really, she's able to articulate the madness. That's what she's doing. We're hearing it. We're hearing her trying to say that she's above everybody, which is why she has what is a rare cheater? You have a cheater who cheats in a rare way. What is she talking about? She's so...
That is what she's trying to share. You are rare and exceptional cheater. That's what she's doing.
A unicorn pick me and a rare cheater just meet, I guess.
Yeah, and you're the problem if you leave because a man violated you, because you're not supposed to leave when a man violates you. How dare you? You're supposed to stay and continue to get violated. Open up that relationship. Let that man cheat in peace, is what she's saying. And this is what I'm saying. I want to point this out because there are ramifications of this on an earthly and spiritual level. And I think we don't pay attention to either. We ain't paying attention to the earthly consequences. We ain't paying attention to the spiritual ramifications, because there's no way to wrap this. This is evil and demonic. This is demonic mindset to have. It just really is. It's not conducive to anything positive. It's not conducive to anything meaningful. This is a woman catering to the lowest base level of a self-serving bandit. That's what she reduced herself to, the demonic shadow side of an already degenerate bandit.
Yeah,
which is why you say that Black male worshipers are demonic, because they actually are.
She will literally blame the daughter or other girls or whoever.
Yeah, she will. She will. That is her mindset. And absolutely, Black male worship is diabolical and disgusting. And what's more concerning is that this woman don't see herself as diabolical. She sees the other women who are leaving the abuser. She sees them as the problem. Y'all are the problem. The ones who think cheating is a problem, you're a problem to her. That's what she thinks.
Dang. Which goes back to the woman, the trophy wife, because you rightfully saying that was Kevin, because she was literally a Kevin Samuels fan. He's the one who said that you don't pay attention to your children if they come to your daughter, your girl children, if they come to you and tell you that they're being abused by a stepdad. So back to it being a collective mindset and a collective issue, because Kevin Samuels shouldn't even had a platform after saying something like that. Yet he was actually promoted on BET after that statement. So it's a collective demonic spirit. And that's what Black women don't want to accept. This is not a one-off. She's not a one-off. She's
not. Yeah, she's the to me, her mindset is the origins of the problem, because I really think that there had to be, in order for Black women to listen to Black men, even from the beginning, to the extent that they would overthrow or give away their own power to them, you already have to have this mindset. Or there has to be something about you that's ripe for this type brainwashing. And there is a type of person that is there. Like, even if you look at DV, yes, any woman can become a victim of domestic violence, but there is a certain character to it. There is a certain persona to an abused woman. There are. And
There's
that's
a pattern.
why, yeah, there is a pattern. If there wasn't a pattern, you couldn't do statistics and data. Statistics and data is looking for the pattern, because if you don't find a pattern and similarities between each victims, then then that means you need to have one specialty for each individual victims. You can't have that. And humans don't work like that anyway. Most humans do engage in the same behavior. There are a lot of women who have the same pathology, and we know that because we have similar experiences. We have similar experiences as humans. So these are things that I really just think that we don't pay enough attention to. And her mindset, if Black men's mindset hasn't changed and they've been doing the same thing that they've been doing, then that means Black women haven't either. So that means that old school demonic origins, pick me mentality that had women giving their power over to men and overthrowing their mothers' rulerships, that one is still present in Black women. In fact, I'm starting to think that's a bloodline at this point. I'm starting to really think it's a bloodline at this point.
The shoulda, coulda, woulda world. And whatever you're saying, men could do too. That's not what you're talking about. What women do more than men, right? And I'm saying I counted what you were saying with men are more likely to bring back an STD to their mate than a woman is to bring back an STD to her mate. That's reality. That's not my opinion. That is reality. That's what I'm saying. Intently Purposeful said Astro is ludicrous. Sabrina said how he cheating like she said earlier, and she's in an open relationship. She confused like a motherfucker. I think he cheated the first time, and then she was like, you know what? She said he cheated, and then they figured it out. Tonight just said, oh, good. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we just stand monogamous. So he brought the agreement. That's it.
That's back in an open relationship.
Right. Exactly. Thank you. I'm glad you finished the sentence. He cheated, you stayed, and then you opened up the bed. Allow him to cheat in peace. Basically, that's what happened. You was getting cheated on. That's why you have an open marriage.
No relationship.
I'm trying to confused.
I'm with you. Okay. Tonight just said, so you found out he was a cheater. Later, like most other women. That's exactly what happened. You couldn't spot the red flag. You were with that man for 7 years. And you allowed, and according to you allowed yourself to get cheated on. Because you didn't spot the red flag sooner. So you're to blame. I don't think you're to blame. Oh, wait. I don't think you're to blame for getting cheated on, though, Astro. I don't think you're to blame for getting cheated on, though, man. I think he's to blame for cheating on you.
Okay. I'm making this to blame slavery for, I
don't understand. That was
it's individual situation.
No, I ain't. That's
got a man cheats on a woman is his fault.
Yes. No, hold on. What? Infinite percentage. Yes. It's always the person who cheats fault. Yes. Always. Well, no. The man, I'm sorry. I'll take it back. Hold on. I'll take it back because I've made this exception before. I'll say a person, but typically it's usually a woman, right? But if a person is in an extremely abusive and dangerous relationship, right? Where she can't leave. She can't leave or he can't leave or whatever. And that's what I'm saying is this pretty much only applies to women. And she cheats. Think Cassie with Diddy, right? When she cheated on Diddy with the personal trainer or whatever he was, and he rescued her. He actually got her away from Diddy. Like that right there. I don't blame her for that. I don't call that cheating because she was being abused the whole time, right? By Diddy, and she couldn't leave. Not only was she being abused, she couldn't leave. She couldn't leave, right? But if you choose to cheat and you can leave, it's 100% on you. You did. To me, that I won't.
She's because he wants to leave.
No.
Okay, so why would he leave if he don't want to leave?
Because he's selfish.
You're right.
Okay, we're not selfish.
No, that's a pivot. Nope, we're not all selfish. Not in that way.
She wanted him to say that he's not leaving because he loves you despite his cheating.
Because she's special.
But he's not going to say that, and that thing doesn't have. A man is not cheating and staying because out of love. He's cheating and staying out of selfishness, and because the woman is allowing him to stay. Because if the woman chooses to just leave him, she leaves him. Then you ain't with him. The reason why he there is because you won't leave, even though he cheated on you. But he's already showing you that he's not invested in the woman. Because ain't nobody gonna convince me a man is invested in a relationship with a woman that he cheated on. No. How is he invested and he's actively doing something to destroy the relationship? Unless that woman is going to say that he doesn't fear that he's going to destroy the relationship because he knows she ain't going to leave. And then you have the same situation, an exploitative situation. But the Bratz doll was right. There's a lot to unpack here. A lot.
The Bratz doll said, so much to unpack here. Tanaka said, stand up.
Not stand up.
D-Mar said, women like her are the problem in the community.
Yeah, they are.
Yes.
If you're happy, I'm happy for you. Your favorite irritator said, girl, you're in a whole 20v1 in your home and get on the internet calling me a president. Get help. Not a 20v1 at the house. Come on, y'all. Sabrina said, lady stops. Oh, go ahead. You want to address that? I'm sorry. You go. A 20v1, you know what 20v1 is?
I don't even know what that is.
Like when it's like one person.
It's the Pop the Balloon series.
Like a lot of, like, you see Red Balloon Pop show?
It's the series where they have the 20 people lined up. That's where that little turtle guy came in, and they have the women generally lined up, and the man goes down, or the woman goes down, and they pop the balloon if they want to further communicate with them or not. It's like a viral little thing on social media.
Oh, okay, yeah. I don't watch dating shows, so I mean, the most
it's
of
dusty. It's so dusty.
The most of it that I watch is Married at First Sight, and I don't even really consistently watch that because I'm really, really, really not into dating shows. I watch.
You covered that. You remember that turtle bandit who went on the Erica Mena show and accused her of saying that that's the 20 verse 1. He came from that 20 verse 1 episode where he was lined up and the women decide after he speaks whether or not they want to continue with.
Oh, okay. I don't know who's Storm over here, but
the plumber. I think
the turtle, the plumber.
She's almost done. Her section is almost done. I think she maybe 10 more minutes, but we'll see.
But it's 20 verse 1. Your favorite irritation said, girl, Sabrina said, ladies, stop spreading your low expectations of me to other women because you accept any and everything from me.
Yeah.
They eating her up.
Said, so then why are you seeing another man, babe?
She's not seeing another man.
Osa said, she is diabolical. 2 on this one. T said, so you'd rather be cheated on and forgive just so you won't be single. Hold on, this is funny. So you'd rather be cheated on and forgive just so you won't be single than be respected? Crazy. I hope you find self-respect someday and learn your worth.
For real.
So I can say, Sabrina, come on, man. Damn, these shit is funny. Shock said, I can't. It's 9:30 where I'm at. She messing with my feng shui. Astro got to go. Oh, man, I got 12 on her. Part of my travel said, men spread STDs more easily due to their anatomy. I didn't know that. Tanaka said, damn that George Bush. He left a lot of us behind, y'all. You know, Tanaka said, we are so happy
I think she might have.
Chat.
Oh, no, I don't. No, she ain't
on the streets, Nigel. Oh, man. And Tam.
Remember, she don't leave until she's violated.
Coming up.
Oh, okay, yeah. Now she's done because Tam bumped her off. So that was the end of her situation. But that rabbit muling, blackmail worshiping that's not a new mentality. I don't know why she thinks that. That's like a mentality we've been dealing with for a very long time. And I do think that this mentality is the origins of the problem with Black women too. My
this
issue,
picture.
huh?
I said, i.e. this picture you have up of this woman kneeling down.
Yeah, because these are women who want to sit up here and propose to men and coddle men. That's what that woman looked like. She looked like the big muscular male in the picture, woman in the picture cuddling the man. That's what she looks like. She looks like that to me. And this is like such a deeply problematic mentality to have. I really wish Black women could see what they need to see in order to liberate themselves. But I do think that this mentality is the origin of the problem. I do. I think this is where the problem started for Black women. I don't know where this attitude came from, and I don't know the exact date when Black women adopted it. But I do think that this is what we dealing with, the demonicness of this Black man worshiping mindset.
Full agree.
It's just super nasty. But I know tomorrow is supposed to be a pre-record day. I do have some Bandit running amok content that I'm gonna do. There's 2 stories I want to talk about on Bandits running amok. And then Thursday we'll get back to the live stream, because there was some updates in the Jay-Z situation, nothing too major. I don't think there's no updates in the Diddy situation. There's some stuff with Luigi Mangione I want to talk about. I am going to talk about the Travis Hunter situation. Is that his name? Yeah, I'm going to talk about that too, because people have been asking me to talk about that. And I do see, that there's some calling for him to break her. He came out and made a statement, and so has she. So I will be going over that, but we'll be going over that tomorrow.
Can we do if we have time on the live, do the Toby situation? I haven't seen it, but I've seen people talk about it. So I know you've covered that rapper before and his strange relationship with his wife, Fat.
The whole situation?
Toby Ngiwi, I believe is his name. He's the Nigerian rapper, the one who has that light-skinned woman.
Oh, Toby Wingway, I think.
Yeah.
Was something.
And his wife, he just recently did a vow. He called it a vow renewal. Literally, he meant vow. But he said he did a vow renewal with her, and he was calling her nigger, literally, like calling her, like telling her to go get things, and said his mic was hot, but that he refers to her that way, as like charming. So, but it was given this picture. It was given this image of
how do you spell his last name? I'm trying to look it up.
I think it's Ngiwe.
NWIG. You were close enough, obviously. NWIGWE. I guess they said. Okay, so you said he renewed his vows?
And he called it a vow renewal, so I don't know if you can get it if you put it in there that way.
NEWA. Let me see. Vow renewable. Oh, when he said he did he kind of spelled it wrong, because it's not a vowel as in talking, is a vow, right, as in VOW, but he did it as VOWEL. I did a surprise wedding vow renewal for Fat. I forgot I was mic'd up. I've been crying like a big old hoe.
Ew.
Okay, yeah. Well, I'll keep this link and we'll talk about this tomorrow, because I just found the Instagram link. There's a Facebook one too, but the Instagram have more comments, and Facebook don't want to let me see nothing because I don't have a Facebook page. Well, there's 1,700 comments on Facebook.
Yeah, because he calls her the N-word.
Yeah, she's saying, I'm sorry, but there is nothing romantic to me about being called nigga. But if she like it, I love it for her. Other than that, it was very thoughtful and sweet gesture for him to set up for his wife.
Other than that,
over their story. I mean, she chased a man for marriage. I mean, she chased him.
It's that picture.
Yeah, she chased him exactly. The proposal with that woman, like that was a prize. And so, yeah, it is what it is. I think I'm gonna go make me some lunch and clean my bedroom. And I'm probably going to pre-record the Bandits Running Amok video tonight because I want to get it to y'all much earlier than yesterday. But since I'm 5 hours behind the East Coast, it makes it a little bit different to get y'all the videos in a timely manner. So I think I'm going to record it tonight. I think I'll record it tonight and then I'll edit and upload it tomorrow morning after therapy, because I do have therapy in the morning. So I'm going to record the video tonight and edit it after therapy tomorrow. And then, sorry. Y'all, whenever I get sick, which this time I only felt like, y'all know how you get the beginning stages of what would be like a cold or a sinus infection where you get the brain fogginess. If you put your head down, it hurts where your eyes and stuff hurt and you're really tired. So the physical part of the symptoms is mild, but it's fatigue. And it's weird because when I had COVID, that's basically how COVID was for me, where it was mostly me being tired. The fatigueness of COVID is what bothered me the most too. So I was wondering if this is maybe like a mild strain. I didn't take a test for it because it doesn't even really matter. And it's flu season anyway, and the COVID is a form of flu. So it doesn't even really matter. So I didn't go get tested for it, but it's the tiredness that's the problem. Usually,
I went through the same thing. So that's about to ask you. I wonder if people are masking again because I know they said that's a new strain.
Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I switched a tab and this was already on YouTube.
No, it's not relate because I just literally a couple of weeks ago had the same thing happen and they said it was a new strain that's out. So, and I didn't get tested either because I'm like, it's going to do what it's do. But there's an uptick in it now.
Yeah, so I mean, because my sister said she was starting to feel sick too. Actually, the other day she said she was out, and then the next day she was fine. So it might be because me and her both had a strain of COVID that was like that. It was like last year or something. I remember getting it, and it was horrible for one day, and then the next day it was over. It was really weird. So I knew it had to be a strain of COVID because it doesn't, like, the flu isn't like that. A cold lasts for at least a week. So it was like it had to be like a strain of COVID because it was too quick being over it. But the first day was like my body hurted so bad that I couldn't sleep. And I was taking Tylenol and I was looking for something to take the pain away. I remember I had to take muscle relaxers. That's how bad the body pain was. And my body doesn't even hurt if I get the flu on the rare occasion. So the first time I got COVID back when I lived in Charlotte, the reason I went and took a test was because my body hurt. And I was like, okay, my body never hurts with any sickness, not even the flu. So I was like, why is my body hurting? And then I took 2 COVID tests and I turned out I had COVID. So that's why I think what I got last year might have been COVID. I don't think this is it because my body didn't hurt. Not really. Like I was having lower back pain, but that's where I carry stress. So in my back is where I carry stress. So I wouldn't attribute that to being sick. But either way, it's the fatigue that's still kind of bothering me, the remnants of it, because it's like sometimes I just feel super, super tired. And so I'm going to get off here, make me something to eat, and then work on that video for tomorrow because I didn't take so much time. I'm sorry, y'all, I keep yawning. I don't mean to. I'm actually really, really tired. My eyes are actually tearing too because the sickness is not really gone. And so I'm tired and my eyes are tearing. But I'm still going to get off here and eat and clean my room and probably take a shower first and then record the video, and then I'm gonna go to sleep. But
that's good. Self-care.
Yeah, because I don't want to get sick, and I think I'm not getting sick because of this vitamin and mineral that I take that has like sea moss in it, black seed oil, and like a whole bunch of minerals and vitamins in them. So
okay.
So I think it hasn't went into the full sickness of it, but again, the fatigue I am still tired. It is making me tired, but whatever it is going away, but it's still making me tired. So Jasper been over here asleep the entire time. Like he laying right over here stretching out and putting his feet on me. But he's stretched out on the bed. He about to get up though, because I had to wash this bedding because I can be around him, but if his fur gets on me, that's another story. Then wherever his fur gets, a huge hive is gonna grow very quickly. So I need to wash my bedding too, because he came and laid out on the bed. Do y'all think I should go just get him and Sasha's they own cat bed to sleep in?
Will they sleep there?
And they want to sleep on the bed now. Like even like sometimes I don't want them in here, so I'll leave them out because I just want to be by myself. They'll lay outside the door, so they want to be in the room.
Right now, my cat is in my bed right now.
Yeah, Jasper over here cuddled up, and he's looking cute and big. He looks like a big baby because he's still, his eyes are big, super big, so he looks like a cute little baby, but he's long. Like he is big. He's a lot bigger than Sasha. Like he really is. Sasha's older than him, but he's a lot bigger than her. She hasn't grown that much bigger than what she is now. Well, from her being 6 months to now, which she's not a year yet. She'll be a year, I think in the end of January, she'll be a year. And Jasper turned a year on February 25th, but he's way bigger than her. Like he's way bigger than her.
So an Aquarius and a Pisces.
And listen, Sasha do not play about Jasper either, because we brought my sister B, her male friend, he had a cat over there. He's a male too. And he named him Rafiki. This is a white dude. He named him Rafiki. Okay. But it fits him. It fits the cat. It fits him. Because he's like, even though I think he's younger than Jasper, but he's stockier. Like he's not bigger and he's not longer than Jasper, but he's stockier. But she brought him over here because she said he gets needy. He walks around meowing. He always, like she said, he's very codependent on humans. When really he's codependent on her friend, because I told her he could come over here because Rafiki is like a big teddy bear. He's super aggressive and he whines if you pick him up, but he actually likes for you to hold him and rub him, if that makes sense. But he has to get an attitude first. So he's big and aggressive, and I brought him over here and he kept trying to attack Jasper. And he got neutered, but before he was neutered, his balls were really big. So I think he's trying to do the alpha male thing, because he literally kept trying to attack Jasper, and Sasha was not having it. Sasha was like,
Sasha said, I run this here.
Yeah, Sasha sure wasn't. Because Sasha's like, she's really mellow, but she will pop one of those male cats. All of the girl cats are like that. It's weird because they're some of them, the ones who are the calmest with the calmest energy, they will pop off in a minute. Like she has a black female cat named Aja, and Aja is so sweet. Her energy is she just has regal energy, but she's super laid back. She's super quiet and demure. But let Jasper or Rafiki go over there and get to tripping. And watch how Sasha just like Aja will just effortlessly, without a second thought, she'll just pop him in the face. She ain't gonna hiss at him. She's not gonna meow. She ain't gonna get worked up. She just go calmly glide over there and pop him in the face. That's what Aja does. And then she just
part of the G family. That's what you're saying. They get it. They get it naturally.
Yeah, and then she just go back to doing what she's doing. She'll pop them, And then she'll go. She doesn't do it. She won't do it to the females because some of them are smaller than her. She won't do it to a kid either, which is funny. Like, even if a kid is roughhousing with her, with the females, they won't hiss at them. It's really interesting how you just know they dealing with a human child because they won't hiss at them. They won't scratch them. They won't hiss at them. They'll just they'll twist out of their arms, but they won't harm them. But Aja, she is not playing, and she's small. Aja's small too, because these girl cats are very little, even when they're grown. But she'll still pop them in the face. She's not scared of them. If they get to tripping, she's just gonna pop them.
You can relate, son.
Yeah, that's all she's gonna do. She's gonna just calmly go over there and pop whichever one of them is doing something. She's gonna go on about her way. But I was pissed off too with the way Rafiki was trying to attack Jasper, because Jasper wasn't doing anything. Like, Jasper was just sitting there and Rafiki would act like he's doing something else, and then he'd just go over there and just pop Jasper for no reason.
Not sneaky.
Yeah, it's like, why are you trying to sneak attack him? Like, just do it head on. So that's why I'm saying the animals, if you observe them, they do have a lot of the tendencies of humans. They really do. They do a lot of the same stuff. They're just animals and they can't talk to you, but they do. Like, Jasper will get on the counter. He will knock down whatever bag he sees me repeatedly getting a food out of. He'll go in there to get the food out too. And he actually did that. Knocked the bag of the treats on the floor. When I got back, it was clear that he ripped it open with his paw and got the treats out. He had gotten to that whole bag and got himself some treats. I was like, okay. Yeah, Sasha is the protector. She is.
What kind of treats? Temptations?
Yeah, they're obsessed with those. I don't know what they put in them. But the cats obsess over. They really do. They love them. I think Jasper wanted some in a minute. I'm about to go get him some. Oh, I need to get off of here. Yeah, because I gotta go pee. But yeah, Sasha is a protector. But I'm gonna go pee and lay down again, then record this video so I can edit it, because these are some vile bandits. They do what they do. But we're gonna keep flushing out this mentality because something's got to change. It has to change. We have to get into a different community cycle. But I'm trying to remind myself that this is deeply ingrained, and it's going to take a lot of work and a lot of patience that I need to develop because I really don't have. It's going to take a lot of patience to see.
It's two different things going on, because you deal with the kind of the philosophy, psychology, including pathology of it. So it's difficult to kind of sometimes make that work for the everyday, so when someone kind of presents cognitive dissonance, I'm saying for myself too, when you're speaking to someone, when you're actually undoing psychological tangles, someone's talking about their you know what I'm saying, the mundane, it is difficult to kind of switch gears, number one. And the second part is I want to say this before you leave about your commentary around religion. I said it in the chat, I think that when you talk about religion, people think that the way I see people responding, that last conversation we had with the woman around religion, is as if they're thinking that you have to be an adherent, you have to be a actual part of that crew. So you have to be a Christian to be being guided by Christian values. And that's not true. Atheists are often have been shaped by Christianity because it's the rule of the country. So you don't have to actually be anything for that thought process to shape the culture. So I want to make that point when you
and Christianity is global, and then Christianity is global too. And then they think that just because you say Christianity, that somehow that means that there's a real separation between these religions. There's really not that much of a separation from the religions, but religion does divide. By nature, religion has to be divisive because it's rigid. It doesn't leave any room for open perspectives, but what you have is a bunch of different Abrahamic religions. And so people think that because it's not Christianity, then it's not patriarchal, but it is. Just because it's not Christianity doesn't mean it doesn't pull from the same concept, nor does it have the same blueprint. They may be worded different, but the blueprint for all of these religions are the same. And I'm glad that whether you that pointed that out in there in the comments, there was a woman saying that basically Japanese or something, they have two different religions, or they were saying they didn't have a religion at all, and somebody came in and corrected them on the religion. It's hard to
I saw that comment. That's what I'm saying. I think it's too also traditional African religions. Like, it's like when you see men leading, that's a patriarchal religion. That's actually being the word that I don't care if it's atheism. If men are in leadership, that means that there's literally, that's the religion, meaning that's the culture of the day. So I think people are just really not kind of understand. They really are thinking you're saying the people who go to church. Like, that's what they, only that part,
their problem is that you're attaching negativity to their belief system. That's the problem.
Okay.
Is that you're highlighting that their belief system is actually harming them in some way. And this is a belief system that a lot of Black women, when they speak about it, they say it gives them inspiration, it helps them, it's comforting to them. And essentially what I'm just saying is, okay, well, yeah, it might be comforting you on whatever level you think is comforting you on, but it's also the blueprint for your oppression, and it's actually trapping you into an unsavory situation, because religion is the means by which a lot of people think they'll transcend oppression. So they're like, let's pray for Jesus to get us off the plantation. Let's pray to get out of, so they think the religion is the liberator, not the oppressor. That's the problem that they're having, is that I'm saying, no, this is not your liberation. This is your oppression. That's the problem that they're having. But they'll continue to have the problem with it. If they have that much of a problem with it, it just means they're not ready, and they should not be over here, which I'm fine. I used to have a problem with religious people saying, well, I'm not going to subscribe, because there are some people who said they had to unsubscribe because even though it's helping them, it goes against their religion. Okay, that's fine. To me, that doesn't make any sense. It used to bother me, but now it don't. It's just like, okay, then you just aren't ready. This is not a message that you're ready to receive. So then you would just have to separate yourself. If you're not ready to receive the message, if you're not ready to truly liberate yourself from oppression, because you can't be liberated by still believing in the oppressive ideology. Because liberation starts in the mind. Yeah, liberation starts in the mind. And oppression starts in the mind too, really. That's why most of what they're doing is psychological. They're not doing it physically, it's psychological, because you get better results if you grab a hold of people's mind. You can literally control what their body does. This is why I say Black people need to study psychology, because they need to understand how they're being trapped into this situation where guns are not being used. You're not being forced anymore.
I'll say Black woman, because isn't Umar, didn't he study psychology? No, sorry, I know you got to go. So let me.
Yeah, we'll talk more about it, because the Umar Johnson is diabolical. Actually, tomorrow I actually do want to go over a part of that video, the last part of it, because the video is 13 minutes. I only put 7.5 in the content, so half of it was put in there. So there's another part I want to go over, but I do want to discuss it live, so we'll do that tomorrow when we go live. But
I'll be here.
I'm about to get off of here. Thanks for coming up, I appreciate it.
That was a real interesting video.
All right, y'all.
Yeah, her mindset repulsed me last night. I wanted to vomit when I was watching the playback.
The interviewer?
This is a rabbit. No, the woman that called in.
Oh,
the woman.
She's she's a really good lesson.
Yeah, she is. She was a good case study. Sometimes I just feel like some of these things would maybe be better public. because it's like the mindset needs to be put on blast. But we'll have more opportunities for it. But I'll see y'all tomorrow in the live stream. I hope y'all have a good rest of your day. I know that it's evening. It's starting to become evening for y'all on the East Coast. Well, it's right into evening, actually, on the East Coast. So for y'all on the East Coast, have a good evening. For people on the West Coast, it's still daytime for them. So I'll see y'all.